hanging out. All right, hello everybody, or nobody. I'm on YouTube and Instagram right now, chronically spicy across all channels, and I have the majority of my followers are on TikTok, and I'm trying to get some of y'all on over here because TikTok decided to ban me for hate speech while I was doing a live, just working on fixing my braids with a friend. Um, I'm only banned through. Oh, that's because I have 300 drafts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have 300 drafts. So just so everybody knows, chronically spicy across all channels. I talk about mast cell activation syndrome, latex allergy, coconut allergy, ethyl dichloride allergy, um, POTS, EDS, medical gaslighting, and self advocacy in all of those aspects. So I am working on slowly building my audience over on TikTok, and I know I have a lot of followers on um, Instagram that interact with me on content that I tend to post and run. And I'm not running because I don't want to talk to y'all. It's just I'm still trying to figure out how to um, balance where I'm posting what and where I'm focusing my energies and my and focus, which I yes, and Megan is here helping me out. She's one of my favorite supporters and mutuals. And Yeah, we're just chatting. So um, this is completely unscripted, completely just whatever. And I'm going to don't mind the occasional swear word. My friend Megan on Instagram occasionally swears, so that's okay. Um, and it's okay because so do I. um, I did not get exactly. I did not get a chance to go on Instagram, or sorry, on TikTok and announce that I was coming here first. So like nobody knows. Oops. Um, oh well. Uh, exactly. Um, and I did do a pinned post on uh, TikTok, letting people know I was going to start doing lives more often on other platforms because even though my ban is going to be lifted on 10/6, I am not exactly all that up on doing lives on TikTok anymore at this point, just because I honestly don't know what was said. That
It was probably just the fact that the word racist was
I don't
used
know.
once for a joke, or the fact is that autism more than
Yeah, like my daughter just said it's likely because somebody reported for a joke they mistook or because the word autism was said too often.
Was making a joke about cats that were very specifically British, and then immediately went, but I'm not being racist towards cats.
Yes, yep, that happened.
Context.
That happened.
And then there were multiple comments that included the words autism or autistic because we have autism.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It was two neurodivergent women of color talking about hair, and we tend to say things because we don't have a filter. So hey, you know. Yep. Mm-hmm. Within a skinny with. Yep. The ends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I have braids. I have a headband on because I have braids that are slipping at the top. And I have to make an appointment with the hairdresser, the stylist, to come back to our house. Hopefully during a time that works for us because my daughter has a really off sleep schedule. We're working on it. A lot of it has to do with her chronic illnesses and the fact that she's gone untreated until 3 weeks ago. And it's going to take more than 3 weeks to fix 16 years worth of, you know, not being, not, and exactly. And the ADHD medication that she's currently on is not working for her. So we have an appointment tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. virtual with our doctor to discuss alternatives because the one that she's taking is having all of the negative side effects.
Well, not all of them, just most of them.
Yeah, not all of them, most of them. It's just not working for her. And like like it was bad enough that she took it upon herself to go through the list that like the insert that
Actually, we went through it like 2 days ago.
yeah.
You did it on your own accord, and then you completely forgot everything we talked about and had to write it down.
Yes. So she went through it again today. Yeah. Yeah. So she went through the list again and was like, this is everything that's not this is everything that's wrong. Um Let me see here. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Now give me 1 second. I am going to step out of frame for a second so I can take my power beats out so they can charge. And if anybody happens to hop in on YouTube, they can hear you too. Um, I can even find the case for the other. That's really good. Okay. Here. I have right in front of my nose. Um, so, so I still have this, by the way, because I'm waiting for my my padded envelopes. I ordered on Amazon. They will be here on Wednesday, so I can ship. If I ship it on Wednesday, wouldn't it arrive fast enough for you? Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, just sure. Yeah. Yep. So, one of the things that I do because I, well, don't have a job right now. I am an Etsy artist, and I'm working on actually trying to build my audience and my clientele. Um, and so, one of the things that I do is I create Day of the Dead art. Dia de los Muertos. Uh huh. Yep. Yep. I love this one. Yes, we did.
live too.
Yep. All right. So I finally took out. There we go. Hello. Life with Abby? Hello. How are you? You are my favorite because you joined me last time too. Life with Abby has joined us on YouTube. I hope you're doing.
Tammy is in home. Joined us on Instagram.
Hi Tammy, how are you? I hope you're doing well tonight. So tonight's kind of just an ask me anything, open ended. Let's talk about mast cell activation syndrome, latex allergy, chronic illness in general, medical gaslighting. Like it's an open chat. It's completely unscripted and totally ADHD unplanned. Um, so
You couldn't pretend it was scripted if you wanted to.
my daughter, the peanut gallery, if you can hear her, I couldn't pretend it was scripted if I wanted to. Tammy, how are you?
Never going to stay scripted.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I hope you're doing well, Tammy. Thank you for joining. Um, and if you have any questions or want to talk about, if you want to talk about anything, let me know. Abby, I am glad that you are doing well. And I so appreciate you joining me over here on YouTube because let me tell you, it all starts with one person. And I could sit here. Somebody told me that I should wait until I had 1,000 subscribers to start going live on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I could do that, but
and you'd be waiting for 2 years.
Yeah, like I mean, it could happen overnight, or it could happen in 2 years, and people aren't going to see content if I'm not posting it. And if I'm not posting it and I'm waiting for the magic number, it's just going to take me longer to get there. So,
and when I was professionally doing this, that's why I roll my eyes. When I was professionally doing it, it took ages to build an audience. And
yes.
I kept telling the boards of directors and the C-suite, this is not going to happen overnight. Yeah, we could pay for thousands of followers, but they're going to have names like BWKJZ.
Right. Yep.
They're not going to be Bobby from next door. They're
Right.
not going to be Lioness 719.
Exactly. So I can show you right now. Well, Abby, if there's anything specific you want to talk about or you want me to look up, let me know. Because I'm happy to do some research, talk through things with you with whatever's going on. I'm really good at researching. I absolutely love doing that. Tammy, same with you. Um, I have mast cell activation syndrome. I have hypermobile spectrum disorder, which is in the EDS family. I have latex allergy, coconut allergy, allergy to ethylene hydrochloride, which makes me allergic to a ridiculous amount of things. And I also am autistic and have ADHD, unmedicated, just in case anybody couldn't tell. And I'm an artist. I do pretty things. So.
And I consider myself chronically ill because I have a latex allergy, a coconut allergy, eczema, psoriasis, all the skin stuff that just really just makes things terrible.
Yep.
And I'm still getting tested for a variety of things. Penicillin allergy, used to be a journalist, used to be a social media manager for both a nonprofit and a home health agency, not at the same time, but similarly. And I'm a mom to 3 cats. So,
yay!
And I'm
cats.
also going to have ADHD as well, but not so much age.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's the same thing. Hers is I'm fairly certain hers is like strictly inattentive type.
Isn't that what the doctor literally said when I got my eval?
I'm remembering bits and pieces.
I'm pretty sure type the doctor said you have?
Abby just left on is gone again on YouTube, but I have a feeling she's doing what she. No, that's okay. I have a feeling she is doing what she did before, which was without me asking and without any prompting. She disappeared for a few minutes. She went on to TikTok and created a video to let people know that I was on that I was live on YouTube. And then she came back.
Very sweet of her.
And that was awesome. That was really awesome. So I
was like 10,000 followers and you have like 1,000.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's really cool when people go out of their way to try and help build somebody else's platform. I think that's just amazing. So yeah,
That's why she so many followers. I bet is because she went out of her way for so many people, and because she's just a kind person.
Yep. Exactly.
Elise is the same way.
Oh, I love Elise. I would love to get her on here. But again, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to let people know that I was going live because I thought because I couldn't figure out the Clubhouse. I think what I need to do on Clubhouse is create an actual event, even if it's like create like 5 minutes.
Chat.
Right. Like I think that's what I have to do. Because I think what I was doing was essentially just a private chat with just me and you, which was fine, but it wasn't the open invite that I posted on TikTok. So it's just the way it worked out. But my goal.
I want to delete that one from TikTok real quick so people don't get confused or whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to. You know what I'm gonna have to do? Well, what I'll probably do is I'll go in after I'm done, and I will copy and paste a link that I posted to the room, or what I thought was the room, and see what that takes me to. Because if the link takes me to a dead end or shows me that it was private or doesn't give me like what I'm expecting it to see, because I've done Clubhouse with other established rooms like the POTS community. I know what I should see. So if I don't see that, then I know I did something wrong and I can delete it. If I see it and it looks right, then I just did something wrong in the process of trying to manage the chat, and then I can look at the tutorials and figure things out as I go.
Right, and I was looking at the UI after we quit that chat, just trying to figure out the UI user interface.
Yep.
Trying to figure out what the hell. Ooh, that's the other one.
That's the other one. Yeah. How do you think I did? This one's yours.
Yeah.
And this one's I've never actually tried to do a dupe of my own work before, so I think I did a pretty good job.
Except the purple looks a little bit smeary, but that's probably because of the camera.
Yeah.
Not because of anything else.
Yeah, it's a little more watercolory. Yours is more defined.
Right.
This one's a little bit more watercolory. And
it still looks great.
And yeah. And she's very. I showed her picture. She's happy with it. So hopefully, when she gets it in person, she's still happy with it. And
I'm sure she will be.
And go from there. This is still one of my favorites, the one that I created for Elise.
I mean, the black background. I think you should do a series of black and silver backgrounds, to be honest.
I definitely want to do that because, this one too. This one, Elise bought this one too.
Right, and that is gorgeous.
Yep, and these, I bought these from Target last year, but I bought them from the Target in Minnesota, and I looked at the Target here and didn't see any of them available. So I'm gonna have to look online and see if they're available on the website, and maybe just grab them after when they're on clearance after Halloween.
Right.
And then
That would
just
be great for your product, overhead anyway.
exactly. And go from there. But yeah, I've got, and then my other favorite is the one that I created for Ray, which is this one.
Yeah.
This one looks like diamonds.
Because she selected like white and silver stickies, did she not?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. He understands. He explain.
Yeah. Two rays, and I'm trying to get them straightened out in my head.
Yep. There's chronically Ray, and then there's just Ray. I don't know what the rest of his username is.
And they spell them differently. Chronically Ray, RAY.
Yep.
Is different from the other Ray who spells it RAE, and that's the masculine.
Right. Exactly. RAE. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I've got 6,000 followers, almost 6,000 followers on TikTok now, which is pretty decent for being small time. And if I can just get 800 more of y'all from TikTok over onto YouTube and hanging out here.
Also has a bit of my heart.
This one,
because it was the first one I fell in love with.
Yep, I love this one too.
It's like your first love.
Yeah, I do love this one too. The turquoise is super pretty. My other favorite, and I'm going to be doing more with this, is this one because those are real dried flowers.
In the eyeballs.
Yep, from the state of Maine. And I know they're from the state of Maine because they were in a flower press that Eliana painted as a project when she was like 6. And it moved from Maine to Minnesota with us and stayed in a box. And even though we left a bunch of weird things back there in storage, that some stuff we wanted to bring, some stuff we didn't. And we have a whole storage unit back there. Somehow the flower press made it. I'm not quite sure how, but it did. And
you found it, and you were like, "Hey, let me find these."
Yeah,
these.
Yeah, because one of my friends on TikTok and my mod for my lives, which I probably won't be doing on TikTok anymore, suggested dried flowers because they love dried flowers, and
Perfect for Day of the Dead.
Yeah. So I will tell you, these are dried flowers.
Listen to the white girl try to say it. Muertos.
Yeah, the little muertos. Yeah, these are the actual dried flowers, and these are fake flowers from like Joanne Fabrics, one of the craft stores. So, I mean, I'm sure I can see the difference because I know, but I don't know if anybody else could tell the difference.
Right, I couldn't tell the difference from the camera quality.
Yeah,
you got going on.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone, on my iPhone, and I'm on here. So,
on your iPad.
I'm on my iPhone, and you know what? I could probably. I was just gonna say I could go live on TikTok just for fun on my iPad, but no, I can't because I'm banned. I'm banned for 4 more days. So,
At least it's a short-term ban.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, a little bit.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you.
This is Megan.
Hi. Affection rub.
Yes. This is Megan, and we will be seeing each other soon, hopefully. She's going on a 2-week cruise vacation with her husband. And after she gets back, maybe we can. She's 2 hours from us, so maybe after she gets back, we can schedule a meetup.
What do you need, baby?
What was that?
Just affection.
Yeah, you need
Just
some.
asking a little bit what she needs.
Okay, come on, sit
She
down.
needs affection.
Sit down. I'll move my fat ass over.
Yeah, good. Otherwise, I'm gonna be hanging off the fucking bench.
Okay, that's great. Here we go.
It's nice to see you.
She needs love. She's been having a few rough days with medication adjustments and well, I mean, honestly, I understand that because I remember when I was first being trialed on my ADHD meds, the first ADHD med. I will say this: her, she's not she's having the um, this is the bad list reactions, right? But it's not the worst ones. However, I can at least be grateful that they aren't as bad as
They're
I
making you tired and sleepy rather than
exactly
awake and alert.
exactly. Hi Hoosier, how are you? Thank you
Hi,
for
Hoosier.
joining. We are having just an impromptu first time Instagram live. I usually go live on TikTok, where I have the majority of my follower base. I've got about 6,000 followers over there, but I decided that I wanted to start trying to um, expand my reach and start sharing on other platforms a little bit more often. Mainly because I'm mad at TikTok because they banned me for 5 days for something that didn't actually happen. So, um, you know,
Banned you from lives,
We're
not
not
banned
gonna
you
talk
from the
about
app.
yeah, they banned. No, right. Just from just from lives. So I'm hanging out on YouTube just to start building a library and hanging out here on Instagram. And me and Megan are chatting. She's one of my favorite mutuals. And I've got a little bit right here hanging out because she needs some sensory hugs going on. I hope you're doing well, Hoosier. I'm not sure if you're still here, but thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, so mast cell activation syndrome and latex allergy and chronic
So let's
illness in
talk about
general.
the pepper reactions that I had.
Yeah, talk to me about the pepper reactions you had.
So I was making a cheese ball, a goat cheese ball recipe for a friend of mine that included jalapenos,
Yep.
which I haven't reacted to in the past.
Okay.
But I, after washing my hands thoroughly with Dawn and with other agents, I accidentally rubbed my eye kind of like this.
Okay.
And I felt the stinging sensation of the jalapeno oils.
Okay.
And next thing I know, my eye doesn't burn, but it aches. Like when you rub your eyes too hard like this after you wake up or something.
Okay, that's different.
and
Yeah.
it's sore
Yep.
everywhere. It was like that for 2 days.
Okay, that's
No
not
swelling,
normal.
No swelling, no redness, no nothing. Just ache.
Ow.
And that's why I texted you earlier about it, because I was just like, maybe Pauline knows something about this.
Yeah, it is. Peppers are listed as on the latex allergy cross list from the Allergy and Asthma Network. But I know that not all.
The distinction between sweet peppers and hot peppers.
Right. I think that's specifically the ones that are listed. However, I mean, to me, a pepper's a pepper, and honestly, too, anybody rubbing their eyes, allergies, MCAS or not, after handling peppers, those oils seep into your skin, so it's really hard to get it off. I would probably recommend if it, I'm well, let's put it this way: if you feel comfortable, right, and you want to make that recipe again, I would probably recommend wearing nitrile gloves while doing it, and then
Right.
taking them off immediately as soon as you're finished, That way, if you do happen to inadvertently rub your eyes or touch your face, the gloves are already in the garbage.
See, I'm constantly itchy eyes because I have iritis, which is basically psoriasis of the eyeball.
Ow.
Yeah. So it specifically makes your iris swell up.
Okay.
And it looks like pink eye. It acts like pink eye.
Yeah.
Except you have a whole lot more pain.
That
Pink eye is
sounds
more pain.
that sounds like a great time.
It's wonderful, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But it seems to run in the family because my great uncle Ray, who's like 97, constantly has weepy eyes.
Okay.
And it seems that a lot of my family members on that side of the family have dry eye issues.
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to get the psoriasis of the eyeball bit.
Gotcha. I like this one too. This one makes me think. This one makes me think Fabergé egg.
It does. You did such a good job with all of the detail work on it.
And you want to hear? I want to show you something funny, and not so funny, but just progress. Okay, this one I made, I think, a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 days ago,
That one
or last week.
last week.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. And I see where you brushed your sleeve against it.
Yep.
It made things so much more glittery.
Yep. I accidentally messed it up and then decided I was gonna keep, because I could have thrown it away. But I've decided that for me, the art and the skulls, they don't have to be perfect.
No.
Because part of the draw for me, pun unintended, is life reflecting art, reflecting life, and life isn't perfect, and especially when we have chronic illness, it's not perfect, and we have to kind of roll with the punches anyway. So I figure if it's fixable, or if I can work with the mistake and turn it into part of the art, then I'm happy.
Completely was, and you made it into a gorgeous piece.
Thank you very much. And this is my other favorite, the one that I have to send to Joel.
Now Joel picked out some really awesome colors for that.
Yeah, I love this one. This one makes me think Detroit Lions colors because my dad was a serious Detroit Lions fan. And he was a diehard fan. Every year, they're gonna make it this year. We all knew they weren't gonna, and every year they're gonna make it this year. Okay, Dad. And this one's my other favorite that makes me think like Fabergé egg.
I think it's the pastels that make you think Fabergé.
Possibly, I think so. I really love this one.
But
Maybe
the jewel tone.
Yeah, working with the stickle apps, the stickles and the glue and the glue squeeze tubes, glitter glue squeeze tubes are my favorite because, and then I don't actually have to handle the glitter myself, which is helpful because then I can avoid reacting. Sometimes I get it on my skin, I wash it immediately off, and I've been okay so far. But like so far, so
we can just safely assume there's some sort of latex.
I mean, there's adhesive in it, so we're going to assume that there's at least ethylene diamidrite chloride in it. However, one thing that I've learned is that for me, like, so ethylene diamidrite chloride allergy, that's not an anaphylactic allergy. That's more of a contact dermatitis allergy. Even if it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you ingest it like in a medication or if you are working with something that contains it. It's a skin situation.
Right now, permanent allergy is a skin situation.
Right. Yeah. And this is
I avoid ingesting it.
This is one of my older designs too.
Now I like the contrast of the turquoise and the purple.
Yeah, I love doing two colors on these. So, but yeah, so even when I do accidentally brush up against the glitter and get and have skin contact like I did on this side, it's not going to cause an immediate rash unless I like forget to unless don't wash my hands and wash it off. And with something as obvious as glitter and living in a rental and not wanting to get glitter over things that don't belong to me because this is not our furniture. I
Your furniture.
Yeah. So like I'm super hyper aware of trying to make sure that the glitter stays on the product and not the household. So I immediately washed my hands, and set this one aside so it could dry, and then went back to it the next day and finished the work on it. And I kind of like how one side is nice and clear and detailed, and the next side is like it still has a detail, but it's a little more.
It still has detail, but it's a bit smeary.
Yeah. Like I think it's got a nice contrast to it. So I'm not mad about that. And whatever doesn't sell before Christmas goes on my Christmas tree. And actually, I might actually the good. I'm gonna. I have plenty of these that I can still work on. That because people buy these for their Christmas trees, which is nice. So that's why I'll be ordering when I can more of these after I sell the ones that I have. Because or actually after I finish the ones that I have.
Speaking of ordering, did you check out those molds that I sent you? The link to the molds that I sent you? Or
No.
Plaster. The plaster casts.
Can you resend the link? Because I lost it. Is it in our text stream?
It's in our TikTok texts.
I'll look.
Is this being hidden from me? It was behind containers.
No, it wasn't hidden from you. You can have that.
Just checking. Dad.
He might have hidden it from you. I don't know.
I won't eat all of it. It's fine.
But so if anyone is interested in I'm gonna on my Day of the Dead art. None of these are listed on my Etsy shop yet. I will be listing this week for.
Don't forget the journal.
What was that?
Don't forget your journal.
What journal?
The journal that you created that's on Amazon.
Right. Yeah, I have to do that too. I have to do that too. I have a journal called I actually have a copy here I can show you.
I've got it right here if you can't find it in a minute. Oh, it's right there.
Yep. Be Your Own Effie and Sunshine, an inspirational journal for people who like to swear. I self-published this a few years ago, and it has the cover art, and the art on the inside is my original art. Plenty of space for you to share to do your journaling. And the blog on the back is no longer active, but the Etsy shop is. This is one of my self-published books. I have another one called Baby Fat: Adventures in Motherhood, Muffin Tops, and Trying to Stay Sane, which actually was pretty awesome because that one debuted on the Amazon top 10 list. So I can technically say I have a best-selling book. That one was pretty awesome.
Which I can't buy because I'm not a mommy.
You can buy it if you want. It's just about women accepting their bodies.
Okay. Which I'm not ready to accept mine yet.
Then you don't have to buy it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And don't forget your necklaces either.
It's okay. You know what? I can actually now that I think about it, I can actually go onto my iPad is fully charged. So we're gonna do I remember my password? don't know. Like, I know there are a ton of we watch a lot of YouTube in our house. Like, it's pretty much all we do. Um and I know that there are a ton of creators that we have been watching just over the last few years, who have gone from obscurity to being able to quit their jobs and go full time as content creators, um, which is just absolutely amazing, and being able to see that happen. Um, so,
I've been thinking about going into the ASMR field because I've been told that I have a very calming, soothing voice.
you do. I will not. I will not lie. I think that is something that you do have. Okay, so
I've also been told it sounds exactly like my grandmother's, who was an elementary school teacher.
mhm.
So, of course, she would read books at nap time and stuff like that for the kindergartners and first graders.
Mhm.
Guess who didn't have a problem having children falling asleep?
Yeah. You could work some magic over with mine because she doesn't sleep. She's never even napped. She. I gave up trying to make her nap when she was about 15 months old, and that should have been like my first clue that we were dealing with neurodivergence.
Child.
Oh yeah,
You
because
had a
she.
feisty child.
I saw a TikTok not too long ago that I replied to, so I reposted it and replying. That I'll have to find, see if I can find, download, and then like do a Facebook, a YouTube like response to, because with link, of course, link to credit the original creator, of course, um, because she explained in her video that people with ADHD don't fall asleep. We pass out.
Right.
And
we fall into REM sleep and do high REM sleep for the majority of the night, and maybe go into the delta waves.
yep. And that's something that and that is something that I have said forever now. I have said that forever now. I have said since Eliana was a newborn that she doesn't fall asleep. She passes out. And people thought I was nuts. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. She actually does not fall asleep. She passes out. That's what happens. And it's exactly what happens. I have TikTok again to the rescue with being the best water cooler for connecting with other people, um, uh, in validating anything, in validating experiences.
I mean, I can remember being a kid and just reading until I could not keep my eyes open any longer, and then it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's what she
and
does.
Then my mom at 6 o'clock would come and try to wake me up, and I'm like, I just fell asleep.
Yep.
I just started dreaming because I didn't start REM sleeping until 3 hours afterward. According to my sleep watch or my smartwatch, which I don't wear because I react to it.
It might be the band.
Even with the different band, it's the casing that it's in.
Oh, okay.
Is silicone.
So,
and I don't immediately react to it.
Yeah.
It takes a few days.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun when
Yeah.
we're on our trip.
Oh yeah. So hi Facebook. I just realized that I'm currently on YouTube. I am on Facebook, and I am on Instagram for the first time. I'm trying all three. And I know it is like midnight, almost Eastern Standard Time. And I know that a lot of people are sleeping, but I also know that uh, if I was on TikTok right now, I'd have at least 15 people in the room because chronic illness people tend to have problems sleeping. I just didn't get a chance to.
So if you have problems sleeping like the rest of us do, welcome, and we love you.
Exactly.
And join in the party.
Yeah, exactly. If you see me on, if you say hi on Facebook, I'll love you forever. Um, I'll love you forever anyway. Um, if Joel was here, he'd be like, "You have, I do have, I have puffies."
Well, everybody has trolls. Like,
No. I have puffy eyes.
Oh, yeah. I saw your shiners developing like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I'll start 10 minutes ago. Okay, good times. Let me take some medication. Yeah. 1 second. Where's the bottle? Where's the bottle?
What are you reacting to this time? Is it something in your hair?
No, I had there's a possibility. There's three possibilities. One is that so I've been drinking these Celsius drinks, which have essential energy, accelerate metabolism, burn body fat, but that's not why I'm drinking them. I'm drinking them because they have a lot of vitamins that I can't take and a lot of supplements. And one of the things that it contains, and they're zero carb, right? So I do zero carb or as low carb as possible.
Right.
And one of the things that they contain is green tea extract, which I normally react to used to react to, and it contains guarana seed and green tea extract and caffeine. And now I've noticed what I think is happening is that I can drink a few of these during the day because they help with the guarana seed extract and the green tea extract. And since my ADHD is unmedicated at this point, these kind of help me focus a little bit. So that's the main reason that I'm drinking them. And I believe because my histamine dumps tend to happen at night, that I probably have to cut myself off from these around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Because I think the problem is that during the day, before my histamine dumps decide to start going wonky on me, I think I'm okay with these. But I think it's after that is the problem. And, later in the evening. And then I had a small snack, low histamine. Sorry, not low histamine. It was not low histamine. It was mozzarella cheese wrapped in pepperoni, which is fermented, which is a processed ferment, right? Which I can which again I had no problem with when I had that earlier in the afternoon. But I wanted a small snack, and I wanted to try and stay. I didn't want to screw around and jump off I have not been sticking to my low my keto plan at all. And I usually do low histamine keto or low histamine as possible for keto. But I haven't been doing that recently, so I've put on about 10 pounds that I need to lose, because I feel better the less that I weigh, because the more histamines we have. Sorry, the more we weigh, the more histamines we have, because histamines are stored in fat cells. So that's just the way it works. Exactly.
The more histamine you dump when you have a histamine dump.
Exactly. So, anyway, so because I had and when I had the snack earlier, I was fine. But I just ate one like about 5 minutes before
we started talking and before the shiners started
Yeah.
developing.
Right. And then like now I look like I haven't slept in 3 days because I've got
But
like
your picture here on Instagram is really good about hiding. But when you look over at your other screens,
mhm.
is when it glitches and then I
Holy
can
crap. Yeah. Yeah, those are I look like I got punched and I should be saying you should see the other girl.
Yeah.
They're fairly obvious. This would be these would be what you would call. I didn't even know the term for these until I was looking through my patient records from from an old allergist in the state of Maine, who I'm fairly certain would have ended up diagnosing me if we had stayed there long enough. Because he diagnosed me with idiopathic anaphylaxis, which what does that mean?
That means MCAS, baby.
Right? Yeah, like we just didn't get to the answer in time before we moved. And I remember going through the patient records and seeing allergic shiners, and I was like, "What the hell's an allergic shiner?" And then I'm looking in the mirror, going, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's what that's called."
When you have big puffy black eyes from nothing but a histamine dump.
Right, and they're not necessarily black; they're just puffy. And it's like yeah, they're really swollen right now.
When I noticed it was about 10, 15 minutes ago now, when I noticed the filter glitching, I was like, yep, I wonder when she's going to notice, or if I should say anything.
Yeah. I didn't notice until I looked like on Facebook. I don't have a filter on at all. And the filter I have on Instagram is like it's just a smoothing one, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like a crazy one. But like you can still see the roundness.
I had no filter on mine.
Yeah. And that's fine. But on YouTube it's also really, really obvious. So if you have ever are wondering what an allergic shiner looks like and you have histamine intolerance or mast cell activation syndrome, here is your allergic shiner, because this was not here 20 minutes ago.
I'm willing to bet you that on pale skin like mine, it would look like somebody had punched me.
Yeah. These are on me they're more purpley, like it looks like I like misapplied my blush, like missed my cheek and like put it up here entire, like I look like um
the 1980s are calling, and you just totally missed it with the little blush brush that came in.
right, I look like a hound dog. I look like a sad hound dog.
Poor thing.
And that's what it looks like. But as I kept track. I tracked my food today. Tried to stay as low carb as possible. Went over my carb count, my carb limit just by a little bit, and will definitely try to stay closer to where I need to be. Because for me, I do best at 20 grams of carbs or less total per day. And just to give you an example of what that means on how strict I need to be, because I have insulin resistance that I need to reverse, because insulin resistance is actually, there's a book called Why We Get Sick I highly recommend for anybody with PCOS or a variety of other chronic illnesses. And I highly believe that there's a connection to MCAS and insulin resistance, because insulin resistance causes us to gain weight. Because when your insulin is on, you can't burn fat, no matter what you do. and you trigger insulin every single time you eat. So people who are grazing 24/7 with the 1980s, 90s, we were all told to, eat 6 small snacks a day and stuff. And granted, if you have a medical condition, I'm not a doctor, and you have a medical condition that requires multiple times a day of eating or whatever, do what your doctor tells you to do. But just be aware that every time we eat, we trigger insulin, our insulin, and we also dump histamine.
Real bored because insulin helps you digest what you eat.
Yeah.
But you can produce too much insulin at any given point in time.
Right. Exactly.
No matter whether you have diabetes or insulin resistance or not.
Exactly.
Your body can dump insulin in just randomly, just because.
Exactly.
It likes the feeling of insulin.
Exactly. But one of the reasons that I'm glad to be I'm actually kind of not mad at TikTok too much, because sometimes it takes the kick in the ass from just any motivator to make you realize you got other options. And I was relying a lot. I still post primarily on TikTok because I still have 300 drafts to go through, you guys. And I'm trying to answer new questions in videos that I create for YouTube, so that I can then share from there. Because on YouTube they'll be easier to find, and I can share the answer in. If I can do the video once and then I can share the answer, as opposed to doing videos multiple times, because I can guarantee you.
Drafts too,
Huh?
You can use those old drafts too,
Yeah, and I am, which you noticed because you asked. You were like, "Wait a second, your hair's different in this video." That's because that was probably from last year. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not talented enough to do my own hair like some of my friends are. I wish I was. Maybe I will be eventually. I'll start practicing. Maybe like myself like a wig head, and see, maybe whatever, because I need to do it on my own, or it needs to be done at home, just because of my allergies, and it's and then I can save some money, and see what happens. And then I would love to be able to do Eliana's hair because she doesn't like going to salons, and I will tell you that upkeep for doing the hair, for getting hair done is, it takes hours. So you're looking at, a couple $100. It's
even if you're talking.
Yeah, it's a lot. If you do it on your own, it's a lot cheaper. And you're just looking at time, which is fine. But if I can learn how to do.
Dolly Parton does her own wigs. Come on, y'all.
What was that?
Dolly Parton does her own wigs.
Yep, I can look, and I could look into wigs are an option too, because I could just get my hair put into cornrows, and then just wear a wig on top of that. And this is helpful, and this actually relates to my allergy because I can't use hair products, basically any. I can use olive oil and a water bottle mixed with water, mostly water with a little bit of olive oil, that a spray bottle, and then I spritz it on my scalp and my hair to get my scalp moisturized. And that's all I can use because everything else contains at least one coconut derivative. I have not, or avocado, or castor oil, or any number of other varieties of the names under which ethylene dihydrochloride is listed. Like I'm allergic to basically the entire hair care section.
Witch hazel?
I don't know.
Because just hearing you say that makes my scalp itch, but witch hazel helps with my itchy scalp.
I would have to check on that.
It's witch hazel and water.
Okay. I know I can.
Of a plant.
I know I can use apple cider, even though I can't ingest it. I know I can use apple cider vinegar in my hair, on my scalp, and that feels really, really good. It's got a nice cooling sensation. So if I mix the apple cider vinegar with the olive oil and the water, like that, I really like. Um, and I might start doing that a little more often, um, because I have not yet. I have not yet. I ran out and I haven't bought any new lately. So I need to do that. I will say one thing that I want to do, and my husband put one of those little. I want to be able to like do. I started a B channel if you want to follow it, Pauline Compost Studios. I'm gonna start posting my art time lapses, and like that one will be the one that will focus on my art. I'm gonna start, and then I'm gonna start another channel that's going to be for uh, the nonprofit that I want to start, and I'll talk to you more about that in depth, so that you can give me if you can give me your thoughts on how to proceed. I have somebody who might be interested in partnering with me on that, who's in the medical industry. So
That
that's
is a good thing in and of itself to have a professional of that caliber
yeah. So
on your starter board.
that is so I need to I'm going to contact them hopefully this weekend and see if I can get the conversation going on that, because that one's going to be the medical gaslighting stories nonprofit. The one that I want, my goal is to eventually make it a requirement for medical professionals to sit and listen to, either virtually or in person or a combination thereof, listen to a panel of chronic illness and medically gaslit chronic pain patients, and listen to our actual stories, because a paragraph in a medical journal over 7 years of education isn't going to give them the information that they need to deal with one of us when we actually walk into their office.
And how often does a medical professional actually read a medical journal unless they're specifically looking for information?
Or if they have a relative who has one of those conditions.
Right.
That's how my husband was diagnosed with celiac disease. The physician I was seeing at the time, his sister had just been diagnosed with celiac. And when I went in after a particularly scary reaction that he had, not a reaction, but a celiac reaction to being glutened, I described what happened to him, and I could instantly see he knew exactly what I was talking about. But he was like, I can't diagnose until he's been tested. So have him come in, let's make an appointment, and let's do an upper endoscopy on him. Right. And so we did that. And 2 weeks later, he calls me and he's like, he calls us and he's like, so your husband has celiac disease. Now, mind you, he was 28 at the time. And when he was 18, he'd been told he just had acid reflux. So he had been on Prilosec for 10 years with absolutely no relief.
And I'm doing the math in my head because we're not that far apart in age, and I'm not going to say publicly how that far apart is, but I'm doing the math. That's quite a while ago, that when celiac was not that well known, and finding gluten-free shit was like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
And all of the bread tasted like sandpaper.
And there was no such thing as Trader Joe's or anything like that. So you might as well make it your own damn self.
Yeah, back then, if you were celiac, you were basically eating carnivore whether or not you wanted to.
Right.
And before you knew carnivore was a thing. And he got so tired of Greek salads at restaurants that when food started becoming more readily available, like that's the one plus to celiac going not celiac, but gluten free foods going mainstream, with people wanting to choosing to go gluten free for health purposes and by choice. Just for the benefits, because I mean, it is actually inflammatory to anybody. You don't have to have celiac disease for it to affect you or to cause inflammation. Um, but yeah, like the only reason that he got diagnosed is because the doctor had a relative who had literally just been diagnosed recently. So when he heard the symptoms, he got that knowing look in his eye and was like, all right, but I can't diagnose. Like, if he could have, he would have been like, stop eating gluten immediately. But he couldn't because he had to do that. He had to have, the test had to be done. And good Lord, when we got the pictures from the scope, like it was definitive. There were 100.
There was no question.
Yeah, it was 100%. You have celiac disease, and so Eliana's been on a gluten-free diet since she was. Well, we didn't realize that we were accidentally poisoning her with formula because baby formula has gluten in it too, unless you buy specific kinds. um, so
But that's cute.
yeah,
Because
so
celiac is highly genetic.
yeah, and she had colic and double ear infections every single month at every single well check, until she turned 10 months old, and we put her on.
My high forehead.
Yeah, it's okay. Once we switched her to to whole milk at 10 months old, suddenly her ear infection stopped. She was one ear infection away from getting tubes put in her ears. And thankfully, I don't remember what the impetus was at the time, but like we were like, you know what, it's time for it's time for actual milk. So we switched to whole milk, and at the 11-month checkup, when the doctor was getting ready, like literally getting ready to be like, all right, let's schedule the tube surgery. Um, he was like, no double ear infection. And this child gave zero indication that she had an ear infection. Like I didn't know she had double ear infection until we got there.
Because he was so used to the pain, probably.
Exactly, because
and not hearing was just bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but like again, the only reason that he got diagnosed is because the doctor's sister got diagnosed, and the only reason that we knew to if we would have known to avoid baby formulas that had gluten in them, we would have, but we didn't know. And so when we were able to get her on to whole milk, she's been gluten free since 10 months old, essentially.
Yeah.
And
the best, listen to me, is the best for that.
Yep. And
it have no additives trying to take the place of the fats that they're taking away from skim milk in order to make it skim milk.
Yep, they're adding the sugar and everything. Like it took forever for my husband to convince me because I was I won't say the points counting weight loss system.
Weight Watcher system.
Yeah, all of that. Like I was convinced that skim milk was, magic, and that fat was bad, like a lot of us were. And
I grew up on 2%, and now I can't do 2%. I have to do whole or half and half.
Yep. Yep. So, but like, yeah, like again, but it keeps on happening though, where I keep on coming across stories from people who are like, yeah, I got diagnosed because my doctor either has the condition or has a family member who has the condition. That's those are the doctors that I'm coming across on social media and TikTok.
Those are the doctors that I'm scared to death of, because I'm like, did you learn nothing in med school other than by rote, and then you memorized and dumped on your exams?
Yep.
Because
Exactly.
you may have an A at, you could have
Yeah.
graduated with a
Remember the
5.5
You
GPA.
get text messages on phones and like a 1 minute alarm on the TV.
Okay. She was just sharing something with me. There's going to be an emergency alert on the 4th.
Well, an emergency alert
An emergency alert text on our phones. Test on the 14th. On the 14th, the 4th, at I think, was it 2 p.m. Eastern?
2:20 about, depending on, I'm not sure what.
2 p.m.
Probably
Eastern, yeah, 2:30 Eastern.
And it'll
So
just be like a 1 minute alarm sound on like TVs and radios, and then like a text on wireless devices.
yes, so keep that in mind. I remember seeing a.
So if your TV makes a funky noise at some point during the day tomorrow, don't be surprised about that.
Is tomorrow the 4th?
It's the 3rd, so technically day after.
Okay.
We haven't gone to sleep yet.
Oh,
but
I see.
It is the 3rd.
Okay, I understand. That's fine.
So, technically speaking, tomorrow.
Okay, I gotcha. And that was I saw.
Because it is after midnight.
Yeah, you like that. She's inherited my thinking. Well, we haven't gone to bed yet, so it's still today. Well, yeah, I guess so. It's still today.
Normal school hours. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. Who does that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, I'm working on painting a shell right now.
Ooh, nice. Is that going to go into one of your glass skulls?
This one's too big to go into a glass skull. We have a rock box, a kindness rock box at one of the local parks, where it says take one, keep one, or if you take one, leave one. And because kindness rocks is what it says. And I noticed it the other day. I noticed it during one of my. It's the closest park to my house to walk from. So I walk the dogs there almost daily, and I finally I've walked by this thing a million times, but never actually paid attention to what it was. And I finally stopped to look, and I was like, "There isn't a rock in here. There's no rocks."
Oh, damn.
So I took a picture of it and posted it in the local Facebook group, and was like, "Hey y'all, I'm not seeing any rocks in the Facebook group here." And people were like, "Oh, that's because people didn't know where it had. Apparently, it had been moved, and people didn't know where it used to be at a different location near a bus, school bus drop off. So kids would be able to collect rocks and drop off rocks that they created during art class or whatever, like after school. And it got moved, not sure why, because I've only been here 3 weeks. And anyway, people didn't know where it was until me, brand new person, who was like, "Why aren't there any kindness rocks in the kindness rock box, people?" I posted and so I have to do an update on I did an update in the group. I stopped by today, and there's like 6 rocks now. And so I'm gonna do an Instagram post with just pictures of the rocks that were that were there. And I didn't take one because I didn't have one to leave. I want to try and follow the rule, which is, if I'm gonna take one, I'm gonna leave one. And so and I saw that people are doing a variety, not just rocks. People are, because there's shells all over the place, So I'm like, all right, so I'll do some shells and I'll do some rocks, and just little ones here and there. And I might, as I get better at actually, I mean, right now I'm just doing random little glitter hearts, right?
Right.
Nothing fancy, but like as I start to get a little bit more, as I start to figure out which materials work best on the shells and different rocks, shapes, and whatever, I might start listing some on my Etsy shop. Who knows? Or seeing if any of the local shops are interested in.
Well, your acrylic paint pens should work well on the shell.
Yes, that's actually, and Sharpies will work too. And here's silver. Haha.
Please get out of.
What do you think?
Sorry. Get out of my seat.
Huh?
Calypso, get out of my seat.
Look. Oh, your cat?
Yeah, look.
The cat's like, no, I'm not moving. Eliana says cats have ADHD and dogs are no backwards. Eliana says cats are autistics and dogs have ADHD.
Well, we used to have both, and I can agree with both.
I completely agree with this. I think it's accurate. Because
why is my phone not charging? Because my other charger is not. Oh God, bless me. Sorry.
You're okay.
Bless my phone. You're in the way. Ooh. There we go. See if my phone charges on the stand. Oh, whatever. Hi, Alicia.
Alicia, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. We are just having an impromptu ask me anything. Let's talk about anything chronic illness, allergy chat.
Crafting and on our different craft projects.
Yep, I'm working on painting hearts, glittery hearts on the inside of a shell, so I can leave it in a local. We have a kindness rock box at a local park that says, take one, leave one. And I just moved here and I saw 6 rocks in the box today. And I did not take a rock because I didn't have one to leave. And people were painting shells too. I saw shells and I saw rocks. And I was like, you know what? Let's take some of my extras here because this is too big to put into one of my shells. One of my skulls. Sugar skulls.
And I'm making
sugar skulls.
I'm making bracelets for not human skulls.
Sugar skulls.
And I'm making beaded bracelets to sell for fundraising for my husband's ALS. So either way, you're doing something good if you buy something from us.
Yes, exactly.
I have no shop and nothing to really advertise other than that I'm doing it just to do for our local fundraising community and at his church. I say his church because I don't attend, but we regularly get visits from his pastor. Our pastor, and I practice both Christianity and Wicca.
Okay.
So I accept all sorts of happy things that make me feel good. So sugar skulls are part of that, and I've bought a sugar skull from Pauline.
Oh, let me show you. I'll show it. I don't know if Alicia is still here, but I don't think she is, and that's okay. Because right now it's gonna be like I have to start posting regularly for people to stick around. I know how that works. But yours is over here.
But of course, it's time to show off the art. Well,
so this is the one that I made for. This is the one that I made for Megan.
And I love it, and I can't wait to have it in my greedy little hands.
Oh, I can't wait for you to have it too. So my customers have a tradition of naming their skulls. Last year, people, one person who bought one named hers Valentina.
Well, that one's named Janie in honor of my aunt.
Yep, and I'm gonna take a picture of this one, and I can turn this one into a yoga mat. I can turn it into a notebook. I can turn it into stickers. I've got a shop on a platform I don't even freaking remember the name of or the website link or the URL to right now, which I will find and add to my link tree, because this is how good I am at promoting my art. Because I had some people were like, I want that on a notebook, and I was like, okay, we can make that happen, and so I did, and then I promptly forgot that I can do that. Yeah, so that's how that works. But I think that's a good start. That'll be the first one I put up, just little hearts.
Right, and it's cute and it's gorgeous. I love that color combination.
Yeah, so we're just gonna leave it.
Little blobs of amber in that seashell.
Yep. So I'm gonna let it dry overnight, and then I'll spray it tomorrow to seal it so that it stays, and then I'll drop it in the art box in a day or like not tomorrow, but like the next day. And the other thing I want to start doing is doodle words by request, like doodle like one like give me a word that makes you happy, Megan.
Well, fuck always makes me happy, but
you got it.
Love, life makes me happy.
Well, we're gonna start with fuck.
Let's start with fuck.
Yeah, we'll work on the good words later.
Yeah.
But
so
see,
you have a really pretty F. So
yeah. So see, what I want to do, if I figure one of these I can sell for like $10, but like doodle and my own version of, it's not exactly calligraphy, but it's my own version of it. It's kind of like a combination.
Yeah, try to recreate a font like so many calligraphers try to do nowadays.
Yeah, like I can't do that. I don't have the capability of doing that. And so one of the things that I'm working on, see, like how I'm gonna.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the things that I have on in my Amazon cart and is a camera that will I can put my phone on so that you can see what I'm working on while I'm working on it, as opposed to me just lifting up the phone every what I'm working on to the camera every few minutes. That is on the wish list. My husband found one that was $19, so I should be able to get that one soon, hopefully. I might add it to the Amazon wish list itself. We'll see. I have to see how far the post office is, because tomorrow I'm going to try and get out and make a stop to replace Eliana's iPhone at T-Mobile, and if the post office is on the way or on the same route, I should be able to stop in there and get the PO box going so I can get the Amazon wish list up and running. And because
Can
people
you
told,
take that doodle to say fuck ALS?
huh? Yes, I can.
Because this is a terrible disease that my husband has, and it's just, you only have a limited amount of time, and you know, making life happy. Yeah,
I will do
making
this for
life
you.
happy for him is one of my life goals now, and every single day is a blessing.
Yeah, I
I
understand that.
I wake up at like 4:00 in the morning just to make sure that he's still breathing.
I understand that.
It's like when you have a newborn and you constantly wake up to make sure they're still breathing.
Yep.
I'm making sure of that with my husband. And when I wake up and he's snoring, okay, he's still alive. And when he's not snoring, it's like, okay, I need to check on him. So I do, and he's still breathing. And sometimes it wakes him up, sometimes it doesn't. But
See,
you know,
my friend that I'm Instagram living with, her husband has ALS and asked me to make this for her. So, can you see the detail already?
yeah.
Yeah. So, and so these I want to do because these are fun for me and a way for me to just exercise my creativity a little bit extra, a little bit more, and I love doing line art. And doodling is my happy place. So these I can probably do for. I'm figuring I could probably do these for $10, because they're small. And pick a word and or a short phrase, and boom, there you go. And then I can mail it off, and we can go with there. We can go from there. But I figure I'm gonna make yours for fun, so I can show it off.
Just, yeah, for fun, show it off. I'm sorry, I'm about to cry on your shoulder, and I'm really trying not to do that right now.
You can, if you need to cry, you can cry.
I'm just scared.
I understand. I mean, let me rephrase that. I can empathize. I watched my mom lost my dad 16 years ago. It was unexpected. He had just turned 50. He died on her birthday. The day after Thanksgiving. When the doctors told us that there wasn't going to be any bringing, that they couldn't do any life-saving measures as his vitals started fading, and shut me up if you need me to shut up. But when they told us they couldn't do anything for him, and we had to make calls to get family there, I remember just in my head as I'm walking out of the hospital so that I can make calls I need to make because there were so many people in the hospital room. I remember just in my head pleading with my dad, like swearing up a storm inside my head, Dad, just not today, not effing today. Just wait until midnight, 12:01. Let it be tomorrow. Let it not be Mom's birthday, right? Just let it not be her birthday. And he didn't listen.
I mean, to be fair, at one point, wasn't his sister in the emergency room, like, thinking about probably just the fact that there was a giant light on the ceiling going, go for the light, where's the light?
Yes, at one point there was a true story. One of his sisters was literally patting his feet. Like everyone was he was surrounded by family, and his sisters were like rubbing his hands and patting his feet, and like as his vitals were fading and the beeps were getting further and further apart. And then I come back to us, you guys stay here for, and then naming, me and my sisters by name, naming my mom, naming the grandkids, it's like all of the things to try and connect them with us. And
just for another second, just for another minute, just for another hour.
Right. Just trying to get them back. And, one of my aunts literally said, and I'm not kidding, that I had to bite my tongue because I almost burst into complete and total uncontrollable laughter because it was fucking hysterical. Look into the light, Renee. Look into the light. Because it was a giant light bulb above his hospital bed. Like if you looked up and you didn't have sunglasses on, you were blinding yourself. It was like looking into the sun. And she was telling him to look into that light, to focus on it, right? Like look into the light, but like look into the, and in Spanish is the first language, not English. So look into the light might necessarily have the same implication in Spanish. I don't know what the equivalent would be, but everyone, all of us first generation family members, me and my sisters and cousins, everyone stopped, looked at me because I'm the oldest, and I'm like this.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Every time death comes up in the conversation, that's my first thought, and I'm not sorry about it, honestly. It's just, I cannot stop thinking about that. Just look at the light.
Yeah. Like I wrote an essay about it. But it was.
No, don't do that, actually.
Don't listen. She meant the other light, not the whoo at the end. Not that Jesus is waiting for you. She meant the physical light.
For your light, the other light.
She meant the physical light that's blinding you above your hospital bed. Look into that one. Fuck. So maybe he did listen to her. I don't know. But I'll bet he was. And well, see, then we find out the night. I find this out 2 weeks after he died. He was intubated, so he couldn't talk, right? And I was there with my mother-in-law visiting him, and my husband and father-in-law were at home with Eliana. And at one point, he's trying really hard to say something to me, and he keeps on pointing above the bed. He's pointing up, and he's saying something, which I'm going to do this. Okay, this is mimicking the intubation, and it's right the tube. So he's making this movement with his mouth. Okay. Now I don't know what he's trying to say. Water? Can you get something to write with? So I go out of the room to get him. Ask the nurse for a pen and a notebook to see if he can try and write what he's asking or what he's trying to get across to me. And while I'm out of the room, my mother-in-law asks him a question, which I will reveal in just a minute.
So you have to do the dramatic writer thing, I guess.
Yes, I do. And he tries to write and gets like the top half of what looks like a C, essentially written down, and that's all he can really do. Hi, Queen Chula. Anyway, I find out 2 weeks later, essentially, it was after his funeral. My mother-in-law reveals that she knew he was going to pass that night or the next day, that he was going to pass soon, because it was the next day. She asked him, "Is somebody waiting for you? Can you see somebody?" And he nodded his head. And he said, "Is it your mother, who died when I was 6, who my father said always told me was a protective spirit over me and him, because there were multiple times where he had, should have been a fatal car accident, but the car, but last minute miracle intervention type thing.
Yeah.
There were too many close calls, and I was the oldest and her favorite, and I can say that without any shame. Because I was 2 years, I was the firstborn grandchild, and I was the oldest, and I was the favorite. And
You sound so proud.
I am beyond proud, because that's one of the few things that I've got, right? So anyway, he says, "Is it your mother?" And he nodded his head again, and she said, she told him, "It's okay. Um, it's okay. You fought for." He'd been in the hospital for 2 weeks at this point, after a heart surgery that did not go well, and they had to open him up again, after the first one, which is why he was too weak for further
interventions.
Thank you. That was what I was looking for. And so the doctors were very honest and said, we can't, there is literally nothing else we can do at this point. And so anyway, my mother-in-law was the only one in that room who, because she hadn't told anybody except probably my father-in-law at that point, and possibly my husband, who knew better than to say anything. Anyway, yeah. When I'm finally told, I think it was the night of the funeral, that this conversation happened while I was getting the paper to try and get my dad to write his message. I figured I'm replaying this whole scene in my head from when I'm in the room with my dad, and I see him trying to talk around the tube and making this movement with his mouth, which I couldn't translate, and he's pointing up, but he couldn't make any noise or anything, right? Because he's got a tube down his throat. And then my mind flashes to what looks like the top half of a C, and I realize he was telling me that he was seeing Huela. His abuela is the proper word for grandmother in Spanish. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huela is kind of like granny. It's a diminutive form, right? It's kind of like granny, and it's spelled Guela. So he was trying to make the top part of a G, and he was just too weak to do it. And he was trying to tell me that he could see her. And if I had known that, I wouldn't have left the hospital that night, which is why my mother-in-law didn't tell me what he said, because I had a 6-month-old daughter at home.
Right.
And she wanted me to get at least one more night of sleep, because she knew that things were going to go from bad to worse real quick.
Or at least sleep as well as you can. We have a 6-year-old who's 6-month-old.
Yeah, exactly.
In the house.
Exactly.
It's not going to be the best sleep anyway, but
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She didn't want me to spend the entire night in the hospital just waiting, and she didn't want, and in case it was a false alarm, she didn't want to. I was pissed that I wasn't told when it happened, because I would have stayed. But my husband was like, "That's why she didn't tell you, because you would have stayed. And what if it was a false alarm? And what if he did pull through, and you were worried for nothing, and you had a daughter at home, and you were a baby at home, and you were breastfeeding, and this and that and whatever." And he's like, "And you needed to be home. There was literally nothing you could do, right? So she didn't tell you for your peace of mind."
Just like, but still.
Right. But still, I'm like, still, I would, I was mad at her for a long time about it, but and I never yelled at her about it. I was just mad. Um, but then and eventually I became mad at myself for not getting it because my dad and I had on my own, because my dad and I had so many conversations about Willa and her watching over the two of us, that like I was like, why didn't it?
Because you're not psychic, perhaps.
I thought I'm like, I just should have connected. I should have realized. I should have known. Um, and but anyway, yeah, totally Mexican of me. But yeah,
Sounds like you were your daddy's favorite too.
yeah, maybe.
I'm being honest. From what I know, you probably were the favorite child.
Possibly.
I mean, you're the one who got a job for. I'm just saying.
See.
Yeah.
See, these are fun for me, and I like it doesn't, and it's not just because of the word, like just doodling words are fun for me. And if you want an art card, 4x4 art card with your choice of word, it doesn't have to be an F-bomb. Let me know. Leave a comment. I can do any word or short phrase you want, and these would be $10. Because they're fun for me. I enjoy doing these. And I usually just do black and white, but sometimes I add black on white. Sometimes I add some color. It depends on my mood.
Sometimes glitter.
Yeah, I haven't done glitter on these yet. Those would probably be 15 because extra stuff. But
Ray.
huh?
The one for Ray.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, so but I mean, after I stopped being mad, I was happy knowing that she was waiting for him, and that he saw her and knew it was time, that it was okay for him to go. You know what I mean?
My grandmother, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I wish my father had somebody waiting for him. I think his truck was waiting for him, to be honest, because that's what he hallucinated, that he was driving while he was in hospice. In one hand he had a cigarette, and the other he had coffee, and he was gear shifting his truck.
Oh.
Bertha.
Okay.
Is what we call her. Like, Dad couldn't speak for the last week and a half of his life, and that's all he did was drink coffee, smoke cigarettes, and drive his truck.
There you go.
Drive his truck to death. But it was heartbreaking to watch that.
Yeah. But it gave comfort. Knowing that she was waiting for him was like, I know that, like, it made me, it was just comforting. It was just comforting to know that, because she passed away really young too. She was in her 50s. She passed away from I think complications from diabetes. And let's see, I was 6, so my dad was 36 when nope, no, I was 6, so my dad was 26 when she passed.
Your daddy was really young when they had you, so your mom must have been really young when they had you.
My mom was 19, my dad was 20. Yeah.
I can't believe you're saying really young, as if 19 and 20 is really young, but I'm looking at my 19 and 20-year-olds in my head and going, no.
Well, like there's a couple of followers and a couple of people that I'm neutrals with that I'm old enough to be their mom. If I had them the same time that my dad had me, and that just blows my mind because I'm like
Right.
I can't even imagine.
Say what?
Right.
I'm about to be your mama.
Yeah, like I can't even imagine Eliana being 25 right now and like me like. But I have one of my best friends from high school got pregnant right out of high school and has a 24-year-old, and she and her husband are living the empty nester life, and she's like, yeah, she's like, huh?
You'll never get that. You're stuck with me.
Yeah, I know.
You won't get these.
I know. I sound. I'm thrilled. Really, I am. I'm so excited.
She can't survive without you, Mama.
She's never leaving. Hi, Danielle Layton Art. How are you? I'm working on a sign. My friend Megan, who has joined me, her husband has ALS. As a call to fight and something to bring, I guess, an to the universe because this is where she's at.
Yeah.
She's asked me to doodle FALS for her on an art card. And that's what I'm doing. And if anybody's interested,
Screaming at the universe, always on the inside.
you know what? If you want to scream at the universe, scream at the universe because, and you know what? I've had this conversation with my husband before. Danielle, I'm gonna follow you back. Can I follow you back right now?
I'm pretty sure you can just follow back.
I'll follow back after, because I like connecting with other artists. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
Husband, universe, scream at the universe.
Yeah, scream at the universe. Yeah. So like, one of the things that I like doing is.
You said you had a conversation with your husband.
I did.
Yeah.
And
you said that and you were about to continue that conversation, and then you got distracted by yourself.
I did. I don't know what I was gonna say, Danielle. Oh, follow. I want to follow you.
That isn't the thing you were gonna say. You already said that.
No, it's not what I was gonna say. I have unmedicated ADHD, Danielle.
I think everyone could tell.
How are you? Yeah.
Hi, shy baby who won't get on the camera and talk to me, but will shout over your shoulder in a skinny minute.
Oh, she's spicy.
Sounds comfortable, but when you say dumb things, I need to call you out on them.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Sometimes.
Sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like no, it's a you problem.
No, I am the problem. It's a you problem.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
No.
Danielle, I also do Day of the Dead art. And I do have an account dedicated to my art called Paul & Compo Studios, an Etsy shop. That I don't have these listed on. Many of these are for sale. This one is, for example, I can turn this one into a magnet or a Christmas tree decoration. Like for example, this one is already ready to go as a Christmas tree decoration. So, but yeah, I like doing it. They have that art and doodles. That's my thing.
And I love your doodles as much as I love your Day of the Dead art.
Thank you. Like somebody asked me one time, was like, they were like, "So you do calligraphy, right?" And I was like, "I don't think you necessarily call this calligraphy. It's my take on calligraphy. Like I can't say it's actual calligraphy.
You're writing on shit.
Yeah, I'm writing. I'm writing on shit. I'm writing on shit.
You're doing graffiti.
Yes, there we go. I'm doing graffiti.
I think graffiti only applies if it's not this. I'm pretty sure there's a definition for that this does not count as.
Okay, sure.
You're just writing on shit.
Okay, fine. I'm just writing on shit.
That's essentially graffiti, but whatever.
Megan
There's
just
definitions for shit, Megan.
Megan. My spicy ass little 16-year-old. Going to bed. Going to nice to see your work. Thank you, Danielle. And I'm going to follow you back. Thank you for joining in tonight. It was just a impromptu chat and thought we'd hang out because Megan needed some cheering up tonight. And we're doing that with this because sometimes it's just, sometimes you just need to.
Sometimes you just need to say fuck the universe and fuck ALS.
Exactly. So this is almost actually look almost done.
That is beautiful, actually.
Almost done. And I will tell you that there's been something super therapeutic with when I first started doing doodling. I worked with pencil only at first, and then I would retrace everything in ink because I was terrified of messing up, and I knew I didn't have a steady hand for like a straight line, right? Eventually I got tired of that because ADHD, right? Like I only have so much patience and so many F's.
Only so many F's to give.
Right.
And shit.
Right. So eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually work on a whole piece with ink only, and whatever happens, happens, and I'm going to make this bitch work. Right. And every time I did something that the line wasn't the way I wanted it to be, or something was off, I might let it sit for a day or a week while I like reprocessed how I was gonna fix what I had intended. But eventually, I got to the point where I was like, you know what, this is just part of the process for me, and like I said before, with chronic illness especially, it's a good metaphor for just learning to roll with the punches, because and terminal illness too, learning to roll with the punches, because we have the cards we're dealt, and life doesn't come with an eraser.
Yep. And if it did, I would have married my husband. I would have met and married my husband 10 years before now.
Yep.
But as it is, we won't have 10 years married before ALS takes him from me.
And I am so sorry about that. This is actually, I think this is what I was going to say. Now that you mentioned that, I've had conversations with my husband where, since I met you, because I told him he knows your story, and that we're eventually going to be meeting up, right? I was like, you know what? I don't know what's worse. I don't know if it would have been easier for mom to know, my mom, to know that my father was going to pass, like with an actual diagnosis, because I know other young widows who lost their husbands to one lost their husband to I forgot what it was, but it took him really quickly within 3 years. And another one lost her husband to a brain tumor. The bad kind, the one
Passed away from was complications from a brain tumor.
right. And they both knew it was coming, right? Which gave them and their children time to prepare. But does that make it easier, or is it just a different kind of hard?
I assume that it's just different.
I think it's just
different ways.
Yes.
Because why would either be easier? Either someone you love is going to die and you have to watch it happen, or it just randomly happens. In one, you at least have time to prepare for whatever was going to happen after the fact.
And I think, and that's the part that is, that's the part that I think was making me think if we had known and been able to prepare a little bit more emotionally. But
then you would have known you were watching it die.
Exactly. So, like, I think either way is shitty.
Shit. Either way is really, 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 really fucking shitty. Let me say it again. Really, 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 really fucking shitty.
Yeah. And then like for
so many of my family members die from terminal illness. And now have my husband die from a terminal autoimmune disease. I'd much rather take a sudden death at this point. Like, Mom, please just die of a heart attack in your sleep. Rather than, and she'd rather go that way. Yes, ma'am.
All done.
Thank you.
Do you want any other color added?
If you want to, it's your doodle.
No, it's your doodle. I'm just making it.
You offered, so you, whatever you like, my dear.
Yeah, this one's yours. I will add black glitter.
Okay. Because I'm glittery that way.
See?
I do, actually.
Yeah, I'll add black glitter.
That's a special pen.
Yes, it is. It's probably my favorite one. Oh, this is good now. It was good before, but damn now. I've got self-esteem issues sometimes. Not with this.
No, but you just said that about my skull like not even 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Please specify when you say skull.
Okay. Sugar skull. I am not, in fact, the subject of an A&E true crime documentary. And the FBI is not looking for me.
Nor the NSA or anything like that. The CIA may be looking for you just to make you an agent.
There we go. See, this is what I do. Sugar skulls. For Day of the Dead, because I'm a Mexican American artist. There. See? There. No humans were harmed in the making of any of my skulls because they are made from wood. Or
other similar ingredients.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes glass. Yes.
This is true. Sometimes glass. I have to get started on those.
Come on, you bastard. Not you, Pauline.
I know.
I made the string too short. Okay.
Let's see. So my goal for YouTube, and especially, is to get the chronic illness community bubble broken, so to speak, because get the conversation into the mainstream on TikTok, because TikTok and YouTube, there are a few people who know how to use both, right? But it's very insulated, and the communities are very separate a lot of the time.
I feel like that's just a thing with chronic illness all over social media.
Yep. And the issue being, though, when chronic illness stories hit the news that are make it easy fodder for YouTubers to without chronic illness who don't know to be like, yeah, well, everybody's faking it. There isn't anybody,
especially the ones who are actually doctors, which makes people listen to them.
right? Exactly. There isn't anybody over here to be like, no, MFers. That's not how this is. So I want to get the conversation onto the mainstream and get it over here too, and get the movers and the shakers that I am connected with on TikTok over here. And that's why I'm going to be starting to do interviews with people once I figure out how to actually do that part, because I know I have to, like, that's going to involve like Zoom invitations and multi-streaming and all that stuff that I don't have the brain power to figure out right at this second. But anyway, look.
Oh man, Pauline. Damn girl.
Yeah. So the silver is all I needed. This black silver is all I needed. Like, I knew it wasn't completely done.
Well, like I said, it was your call, and you did it marvelously.
Yay! I did something right.
Don't we all need to celebrate yay when we did something right, though?
That will be the only time that this happens this week.
Oh, it's only Monday.
Oh shit! It's only Monday. Okay. Well, that's not a good sign. Okay. Well, the rest of this week's gonna go to pot then.
Oh shit! You need to see my cigarette case.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. That's gorgeous.
I love that little keyhole at the top of the skull.
I love that.
But I got this from a girlfriend of mine who was moving, and she was like, "Yeah, my stepchild wanted it," and I couldn't tell her no, even though my stepchild doesn't smoke. And I'm like, I can see why.
Yeah.
Whoever did that art before it got on a cigarette case spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah. Exactly. And after I'm gonna start working on some Christmas ornaments, like actual ornaments with just doodles, like a couple of people suggested during my TikTok lives. But I also want to see if I can. I'm going to start dedicating some time to, and this is why I want to get that overhead camera, so that I can do the. I want to record the lives. Well, I want to record those, or at least maybe not lives, but or even if I do them as lives and then turn them into videos later and shorts and whatever. Because I want to get Crystal Head Vodka's attention, and I want to get Target Corporate's attention, because Target Corporate selects a different Latin American artist every year for their Day of the Dead collection, and I need to figure out how to get my name in that basket.
Right, you do. And I'm not sure how to do that, and I would love to research that for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid that if I get away from Instagram, that I'm not going to be able to come back to you.
Well, it's okay. It doesn't have to be answered right now. Like, I already know that, like, there's a good chance they've already got next year's artists selected. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but like, I don't even know how to get my name into the vetting process. And that's what I need to figure out. I mean, who knows? I might just legit just tweet Target and be like, hey, this is what I do. How do I get my art in for consideration? Because while every artist every year, has their own take on what they do, of course, I haven't seen anyone whose style is nearly remotely similar to mine.
Right. Everybody's sugar skulls are unique in their own special way. Like, some are minimalist, some are heavy duty, some are somewhere in between the two, but they're all unique in their own special way, and that's what makes Dia los Muchos
It's okay. You did a good job.
So special to my heart, is because none of the art that I see is ever the same unless you go with the commercialized shit.
Right. Exactly. And that's exactly why I would absolutely love to be able to get. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. Like, I'd
be jumping up and down. Like, I have a concrete floor in my house. My house would shake if that happened for you.
I would lose my mind.
There would be an earthquake with all 4 of our townhouse units, and my neighbors would be like, "What the fuck's going on?" My friend just got her art accepted at Target for their Day of the Dead art. Come on.
Like, that's right. Right, and Crystal and vodka. Like, those two are my goals. Because if I could get, I know Crystal Head Vodka does a Pride skull every month, every year, and I don't know if they do a Day of the Dead one, but they should, and it should be created by a Mexican American artist. So hello.
There you go. Wow. I'm gonna open this package up, and you're gonna be like, "Megan, see, look."
How long did that take? How long did that take? Less than an hour.
Yeah. And it's beautiful.
Yep, and that's why. Thank you. I mean, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yes, it rocks. This is stunning. You're welcome. I'm fucking fabulous. You are so welcome that I exist. Yeah. So about that self-esteem problem, that only applies to the rest of my life.
Honey, I have a self-esteem problem, and it has nothing to do with the rest of my life. It's just a constant.
Well, it's a constant unless I'm arting or writing, unless I'm arting or writing. But the funny thing is, if I'm writing, sometimes it's about self-esteem. So, technically speaking, I'm technically only okay if I'm arting.
When I'm writing, I'm just like, this sounds like shit. This sounds like shit. And then everybody's like, oh my God, you're such a good writer. You should write for New York Times. You should write for the Wall Street Journal. You should write for this. You should write for that. And I'm like,
yeah.
no.
Eliana said, "Isn't that just a universal writer experience? Like, think this sucks." And honestly, I think
or
yes.
Just not know what to write for like 5 days straight.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Any writer who like never struggles,
They're lying to you and or using AI.
Right? Or they just suck.
And then there's the Van Goghs of this world that are just like, my art is shit. I will take this to my grave with me. And the brother's like, oh, hell no. You're not going to do that.
See, that's where I'm afraid I'm going to be. And that's why I want to get in the target into this is what I finished for Megan. FALS, her husband has ALS, and she needed to scream into the void with some with a requested doodle. So this is what I created for her, and I will be sending it to her with the Day of the Dead skull that she requested I make for her in honor of her aunt. I wrote her aunt's name on the back, Janie, so that everybody can see. Anyway, but yeah, all I can think is if I have grandkids, I might have grandcats and grandplants. I don't know. But if I have grandkids, or whatever, like I would. I'm not saying I don't want them to me. I don't want to make that. I don't want their life to be harder. I'm just saying I would like to not. I'd like to see some of the benefit.
Right.
I don't want it just to be, huh?
I want to see some of the benefit of my art before I die.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I would like some of this to I'd like to, hey, if I could buy a car with my art money, like, okay, let's do this. If I could,
Speaking of a car, did you get my tag to my car salesman guy?
No, I need that.
I will. He just got traded in a fairly recent CRV. That has low miles on it, but they're selling it for a steal.
Okay, can you message that to me? Because
yeah, I'll send you the Facebook link via text.
Okay, that'd be perfect, because we are looking, and we lost out on a steal on a vehicle that sold in probably 15 minutes, because I messaged the minute my husband told me he saw it, and he saw it 5 minutes after it was posted, and
then you proceeded to not do anything about it for the next 4 hours.
I messaged.
But neither of you decided to.
Oh, well, it didn't matter, because by that point, the reason that the guy didn't reply was because he was already negotiating with somebody who saw the price and was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." It was his parents' second vehicle, so like they didn't need it.
Like I tell you, our little what is it? But it's too small for you guys. It's a little golf cart.
I wouldn't mind a golf cart.
And Kevin's still driving it at this point.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. If he wasn't driving, I'd be like, well, I wouldn't mind a golf cart. Like, golf carts are good.
So long as it gets us from point A to point B, I don't care.
Yeah, like I don't have to drive super far. I just need. I'll take a golf cart. Like I literally would rent a golf cart if because you can drive them where I live. But I don't want to buy one because I don't know if we're gonna stay here. And I would much rather get a small-ish vehicle that is, because it's just the three of us. We have 2 small dogs, and I just want to be able to get from point A to point B. And I would like to, if I apply for a job that requires occasional, because a lot of jobs are like remote or hybrid now, right? And if I apply for a job that's on the mainland, or if we end up on the mainland and I apply for a job and it's on the island, then I need to have a vehicle that is not an actual golf cart. Did I lose you? I might have lost you, and that's okay. Because I know you said your phone was.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here. No. I just looked at Billy's inventory, and he said that the CRV had just sold, so
Of course it did.
we missed out on that.
Well, that sucks.
But I can still give you his contact information, and you can see if
Okay.
see if he's got anything else on, because he's really good at car shopping too.
Awesome. Yeah, because like I wouldn't. I don't. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be. It just needs to. It just needs to be a good price that I can, handle, and go from there.
And that's all I told him, and he gave me an awesome deal on. Sorry, dropped you. And everything else too.
Oh, that's okay. So I added I because this is I'm gonna have to tell everybody else, like, yours is only gonna be one color. Sorry, for $10 it's only one color. If you want extra color, it's gonna be more. Because time. But I'm looking at this going, well, it could have a little bit more prettiness. Damn it.
It's only if you choose to, because it's your art and you're giving it to me, and I appreciate it. I see you, the finest.
Hello. How are you? I'm working on my friend Megan, who has joined me. Her husband has ALS, and she decided to scream into the void tonight by asking me to doodle an FALS art card for her. Can you see the white that I've added?
Mm-hmm.
Just for a little bit more definition around that. So yeah, there we go. Like,
her only work, she also does sugar skulls,
shapes
and sizes.
Dia de los Muertos. Two-sided ornaments usually. And then these guys that I only have a few of these. I can tell you, actually, I only have 2 of these that are available. Let me show you the 2 that are available because the rest have been claimed. These are the only 2 that I have available. This one has real pressed flowers from the state of Maine, in case that matters to anybody. The back is painted turquoise. And this one is all turquoise with glitter back, flowers in the eyes also. And everything is hand doodled, hand painted. No stencils or anything, just my original work. The wood were purchased from michaels.com. So like I didn't cut the wood myself, but I do the original art on them. Those are the only 2 that I have available, and I can't get any more of those right now because they did not have any available at Michael's when I went to look in person. And I have an entire box of these bad boys at home in Minnesota in my storage unit. So next year I'll be able to make a lot. But and I might start taking pre-orders once I know our wherever we're going to end up. Once I know our either we go back and start getting stuff out of storage, or we set up for a moving truck to start bringing stuff to us. I might start accepting pre-orders because I know I have about 100 skulls, wooden sugar skulls to paint. And
Yeah, great save. Great save.
great save. Yep, great save. Um, and I might start accepting pre-orders so that I can know I can have them set to go, because that might be the way to do it. Especially since I don't, since I'm not seeing them, I'm a little concerned since I'm not seeing them at the local Michaels. I don't know if maybe that was just a one-off last year and maybe maybe I didn't buy enough. I don't know. I don't know if they're still offering them. I haven't checked on the website.
I'm pretty sure you could find all that stuff online anyway.
Yeah, but like this was one of my favorite cutout shape. This was my favorite cutout shape to work on. So if I don't see more like that, then then these would be definitely limited time only. Like once they're gone, they're gone.
And another place to check, just FYI, I don't know if they have them, is probably Dollar Tree right now.
I did check Dollar Tree, but I didn't get a chance to look, and I was looking for the, other stuff when I was there, so I didn't get a chance to look at the little section for this stuff. So hopefully I can look this weekend. So
that's fine. Hey, they might have. What else am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
Where'd my black silver marker go? I need the black silver. Here we go. Nope, no, that's not you. Where'd you go? Because I need to finish the last thing and stop before I piss myself off and continue. And I don't mean by like this one of the hardest part. Okay. When I start wondering if I'm done, I've learned that means I'm done and not to keep on going. But then sometimes I'll like inadvertently continue to doodle and be like, fuck, I meant to be done. So then I have to like go back and like fix something to make it finish looking like the rest of the aesthetic, which I just did to myself. So 1 second. We're okay. We're okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's just dying, but everything's fine.
Exactly. Situation normal, all fucked up. Oh my God, that would be a great chronic illness shirt, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Maybe I'll work on a doodle for that. That could be a Teespring. Situation normal, all effed up. Well, maybe that could be a way to raise money for people with chronic illness who are dealing with issues and need to raise funds. Teesprings with like a specific design for each campaign that I create for whoever it might be. Because there's one major chronic illness creator who I'm talking with right now, who has a very large following, who I approached and was like, "Hey, I can't." She's finally accepting, agreed to accept help from her followers because she needs it for situations. And I said, I can't donate cash, but I can donate time and art with my art, and a portion of a percentage of my profits from what I create for you. And I was trying to figure out how to do that. Teespring, maybe.
That would be a good option.
There we go.
Because
There we go. Done. I'm not doing shit anymore to this.
awesome. It looks great.
Okay, I'm not fucking. I'm done. If I touch this again, I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
That's fine. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
There you go. There's your scream into the void. And I'll spray this one too, just for yeah.
Making sure that it stays.
Yes. So that one tomorrow will get sprayed and we'll be good to go.
And you can use that as your shiners are almost gone.
Yeah, they're not as bad as they were. They're still this one's still here, but not as bad, not as
Yeah. In your face.
yeah. It's not a hey, who just decked you anymore. So, or who did you get in a fight with?
The guy.
Right? What's the other girl look like? Well, you should see. You think I look bad? No. This is one of my favorites that I'm still waiting for someone to buy. I don't know if you can see what it says.
I can't see what it says, but it looks pretty.
It says, here we go. This better?
Fuck?
Yep.
Just fuck.
That's all it says. That is all it says. And it's gorgeous because no one knows what it says unless they're literally in your business.
And yeah, that would be great for my waxing appointment on Thursday.
Yeah. If I could wish it on over.
How to put it on a belly chain.
Huh?
If I could figure out how to put it on a belly chain.
Yeah. There you go.
Because there's going to be somebody all up in my business on Thursday.
Yeah, it's good. And this is the other one. This is the famous. This is the famous fucking pendant.
Fuck everything.
Yep. So
you wear that one all the time.
Oh yes, I do. I have multiples, and almost every. I'd say about 25% of the time when I leave the house, I don't come home with it, which is why I have more, because people are like, somebody will eventually be like, "What's that? Does that say what I think it?" Where did you get it? I made it. Can I buy one? Cash App. Here you go. I got no shame.
That would be great on a keychain too.
You know what? You're right, and I need to order keychain pieces for that. I need to order more, but I haven't ordered more supplies for pendants yet, which I know a certain mutual of mine is waiting for, because I need to do my totals for what I made for the chronic illness friend that I was working trying to raise for. Yep. Because that so I have to do my totals and see what I raised so I can figure out the profit and get her the proceeds, the portion of the proceeds. You know what I mean?
Right.
And once I do that, then I know what I've got that I can put towards pendant materials, and maybe a pack of Christmas ornaments. to see if I can actually do anything with those.
I bet you can. I bet your doodles would look fabulous on the Christmas ornaments.
I've tried before and I've done nothing with them, but since I only have a very limited amount of art with me right now, and I got rid of a ton before we left, like my husband, I got rid of all the ADHD buys, right? I got rid of the I wish I had time for and I'd like to learn how to, and stuck to the this is what I do and always come back to, which was the skulls, art felting art, needle felting, but I left that stuff in Minnesota because I knew I was like, I'm not gonna have time to do needle felting too right now. But I doodling and my sugar skulls, and digital art. So I've got my iPad. So like those three things, I got rid of my acrylics, except for my acrylic. Like, when I mean acrylics, I mean like canvas art stuff, right?
Right.
I got rid of anything that didn't have anything to do. If it didn't have to do with my sugar skulls, my art squares, or digital art, or pendants, I got rid of everything else. I gave a bunch of other things. I just gave a bunch of other things away to other friends who are artsy and craftsy. Um, and so
Well,
I
that
have,
was sweet of you.
huh?
That was actually very sweet of you. I know how expensive that shit is.
Yeah, and it was a lesson in do I. It was a good reminder. Well, I mean, some of the stuff I'd had for years, so like I forgot. Like literally, I was like, I'm going through stuff, packing things up, and I'm like, when the fuck did I buy a whole acrylics paint set? Or was this something I asked for Christmas and never used? Like, you know what I mean? Like I honestly, like full on sets that I never touched. And like, especially if it wasn't open, I was like, I'm not, well, it's not going to get open now. So, I just was like, you know what? It forced me to focus on. I told my husband, I'm like, all right, I'm just keeping what I know I will work on, and what I continue to come back to, and that's doodling, sugar skulls, and digital art. Essentially, are what I stick to. Oh, this is the one, and this is Elise's
Lions or
Detroit Astros. It's funny though because she lives in Detroit too, and the colors are the same for the Tigers, so it works for both. So I need to message her so that she can finalize. We can work on finalizing payment, and I can get that taken care of. And I think everybody else is. I'm holding on to one for somebody. I'm holding on to one piece of art for someone who is waiting for a disability check to come in, and because she's one of my regulars. But everybody else. Oh look, see, I started another one.
I'm not the only one who's happy word fuck. But that's a pretty fuck.
It's a pretty fuck. Good thing I don't have enough followers on YouTube to get demonetized because, hi. The benefits of being an unknown.
Get away with shit.
It's all right. It's all right. It's good. It's good.
My phone just died again when I picked it up.
Because your phone's an asshole and I have to go to T-Mobile tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll have to go to T-Mobile right after our appointment with our doctor. I'll take the boys for a quick spin around the block so they can have their bladders relieved, and then I will head on out to take care of your phone situation, which essentially means I leave with your phone and come back with a new one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have to leave with your phone. I'll call them first, because they can transfer everything for you there, which could take hours. But since we're paying it off, and I'm not trading it in for a new one, and
Probably just
I probably just leave yours home. I can probably just leave you home with yours and just buy the new one, and we can transfer the stuff at home at our own leisure, since we know what we're doing.
Were the last words somebody ever said about cell phone.
Right. Well, I mean, I'd rather, because I know how long it takes for data to transfer, and she's got, and her and text history and all of that takes the longest to transfer. I would literally be there until next Wednesday if I was waiting.
Most of my interactions with people are over like Discord or whatever.
Okay.
The only people who I text ever are you and Dad.
Okay, so then it might not be too bad.
I'm still figuring out Discord.
Yeah, I have to figure out Discord too.
You're an old virgin to it, so you know.
Yeah, I have to figure out Discord too, because that's where all everybody with the YouTube community has a Discord community, and I gotta figure that shit out.
Get your daughter to teach you about it.
If you know what, I would love to actually, and that's one of my dreams. If I could actually like get things going where I have an actual income and enough supporters to turn this into not just advocacy, but a career too. Like she'd be my maid mod, and I'd be paying her.
Right. Well, I worked for my mom for free, so the way she put it was, I have this small business to put food on the table and keep a roof over your head, and you can put up or shut up.
Oh, that's not. I mean, that's fair. That's kind of fair.
So whenever I was bored, I didn't say a daggum word.
I'm bored, really now.
Edit this document for me, sweetheart.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a constant in my house.
Yeah.
Or in my mom's small business.
Yep.
Or sort your dad's tools yet again in his shop with his own small business.
Yep. Speaking of small business, I will be taking tomorrow off from live because I need to apply for, there's a job I want to apply for, and I need to get some paperwork taken care of. So I have to basically some basic general just life housekeeping stuff that I need to finish up so that I can go live the following day. And then, so I can do a video tomorrow, like saying, hey, I'll be live on YouTube at X time or whatever. And hopefully also get a video up. So I want to try and post one good video per week, like most people do. And start, actually acting like this isn't just, well, it ain't gonna happen if I don't do it.
Right. You don't want it to be a hobby. You want it to be a career.
Right. And so that means I need to start getting off my ass and doing. So I have to buy a URL for that nonprofit that I want to get going. So I have to start the channel. I have to start two channels, one for the URL, one for the nonprofit that I want to do, and one for what I hope can turn into a chronic illness type community basis of sorts on YouTube. And I can explain that one to you because right now it's a very, it's an idea. It's a rough draft in my brain.
Gotcha.
But I think there's a potential for good things to happen with it if I can get other people in on it too. So
Always potential, Pauline.
there's always potential, yes. Can you not do that when I'm trying to not fuck up a doodle?
Your pen wasn't on the paper. I looked.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for patting me like a cat. You are such a cat.
I am aware of this.
Sometimes she's a cat, sometimes she's a plant.
Cat plant.
I was thinking that last one looked kind of like a penguin flipper.
And or bird crow of some kind because ooh shiny.
ADHD. That's why I like glitter. And
It covers up so many flaws.
right, and it's ADHD shiny gel pen glitter. So my husband can't divorce me because I got glitter over everything because it's gel pen. Ha ha. Joke's on you. Kidding. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, what time is it?
It is probably time to go.
It is 1:38 in the morning.
That is actually a lot better than I was thinking it was. We're doing better. We're doing better.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I've gotten notifications that pop up on my phone like from like 5 different people on TikTok going, "Hey, where are you?" And I'm like,
Right here. Sorry. Come over here.
yeah, I'm over here. But they don't know that. Like, I know it's going to take a while to basically retrain the people who want to follow me. Need to actually follow me over here, and I know it's going to take a little while to get that to happen. So
That's kind of. It's nice to have this chit chat.
yeah.
But at least we can chit chat over here. We can't chit chat over at TikTok.
Right, because TikTok is weird. Like, TikTok should honestly allow for, like, I understand the creator of the chat should have a minimum amount of whatever. That's fine. I get that. But, like, if you want to invite somebody who has less than that, that should be allowed.
Honestly, yes. And that's why I was allowing a lot of people to follow me that I knew were spam accounts or were, let me see if this woman's going to fall for this trick.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of accounts. Because I was like, just as long as I get up to 1,000 followers, I'm fine. Then I can talk to Pauline.
Aww. You were letting catfish people think they could catfish you just so you could talk to me. I'm so honored. That's the weirdest, best kind of social media compliment I've ever gotten in my life.
I mean,
I was letting weirdos follow me so I could get to 1,000 followers.
I'll catfish people all day long so long as I get a benefit out of it.
Dude, some guy like replied with like, "Can we be friends?" And I was like, "Here's my Cash App." He never replied back. Another one was like, I literally said like, "I want to be your sugar daddy," and I was like, I can give you conversation and doodles, and the conversation has to be G-rated. And I can do art for you. Here's my Cash App, and he never wrote back.
And then I think there was another one that was actually being respectful about it. But the thing is, first of all, he said he couldn't do online banking stuff.
Yeah.
And instead,
and by that I mean he couldn't do like Cash App and stuff. So instead, he was gonna do like the normal online banking, which is still online banking through the banks, and that he needed X. I think it was he needed X amount of money to send first, or to send X amount of money so that things
dude,
could get go
this
through.
was the PayPal guy. He
Yeah,
was
the
gonna
PayPal guy.
PayPal me $3,000. He offered to PayPal me $3,000 to help with my medical expenses. But I had to give him $50 first for his admin fees. And I was like, if you're real, you will give that to me first, and then I will give you $100 back for actually not being, an idiot. And he was like, you have to trust in the process. He actually tried calling me a few times, and on Instagram, because I didn't realize my phone number was somehow attached to my Instagram account, and I have to fix that. And I was like, okay. And he's like, he's like, I want to help you. And I'm like, no, you want $50 for free, because once I give you that money, you're gone.
Which, like, you'd think if you're gonna do that, you would ask for like at least 100.
Right?
Because like $50, it's not like a tiny amount of money, but that's the type of money that's only really big if you're like a kid, or that's literally what you need to pay off your next bill or get your next meal.
Well, all I can
None of those situations you are in.
Well, what I figure is because he sent me he's like, well, here are testimonials, and he sent me 3 testimonials of people who were like, this guy is real. He just sent me 3. All I have to do is do what he says. One person was like, the phrasing was weird. She was like, do anything he says because he's real, like, and he just changed me and my son's life, and now I can whatever. And I was like,
whatever he says. What does that entail?
Right. I'm like, we're
Because I'm
talking.
assuming it's obviously not going to be like illegal or anything, but
Right, I'm assuming she just meant the
Still.
50. I'm assuming she just meant the $50, but
I know, but the phrasing.
the phrasing
feels
was
like,
off.
No.
Yeah, the phrasing was like no. But he messaged me. He tried messaging. He still hasn't stopped messaging, and I keep on forgetting to like go in because I don't check Instagram all the time. If I see anything from him, I'm just going to report and block his profile. Because like honestly, there's a very good chance that he gave these 3 people $3,000 after they sent him $50, so he could have that basis for proof for the scam, because that's what a $9,000 investment to make $50 off of people for life, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Here's my 3 videos to shoot just to prove that I actually do what I said I'm going to do, and then never have to do it again. It's like, dude, I'm from Detroit. I'm an investigative reporter. I'm skeptical AF. You can kiss mine. And he's like, you need to trust me. No, you need to prove to me. Like, if you want to help.
Prove to me that you are trustworthy before I will give you one shiny red cent.
Like, if you want to help me, you want to help me. If you want $50, just tell me you want to me over and not buy me dinner first, okay?
Right. And it's better be more than $50.
Right? Because no, we're not doing that. And then there was another guy, and then the last one was this old guy who was like, I'm a 72-year-old widow. I want to be your sugar daddy. And I was like, that's nice. And I'm like, what are you looking for exactly? And he was like, he offered like $300 to $400. He was like, I want to pay you $300 to $400 a week. And after the first payment, I'll tell you I'll tell you what I want. And I was like, how are you? I said, he goes, but I understand. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know you're going to be sending anything? How am I supposed to trust that? I'm playing dumb, right? And he's like, well, I understand. I'll send, a first payment so you see that I'm real. And that, I mean this, and whatever. And I was like, okay, so fine. Here's my Cash App. Here's my PayPal. Here's my Venmo. And he goes, oh, I don't do those. He's like, I'll send you I need your Gmail. I'll email you a check, and you can deposit it that way. And I'm like, how the
dumb do you think I am?
But also, in what world is that legitimately easier than just learning PayPal?
I don't
Like,
think
I'm decently certain half the reason so many old people are as tech illiterate as they are is not because they can't learn, because if you're being honest, it's very simple for a lot of things. Like, sure, there's some things that most people can't do, and I'm not blaming anyone for that. But if it's something like learning how to use PayPal, no.
Yeah, but I honestly, there's something really scammy about. I haven't looked into it. I've been meaning to look into it. Like, what's the scam here? Like, I don't think you can deposit a check that you get via email.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than possible, because why wouldn't it be? But like, there has to be something there.
Not possible.
Yeah.
If it isn't possible, then that's obvious.
Not possible.
Yeah,
And if
it's
it
not.
is, then there's a catch there.
Right, like you can do bank wire transfers. I've been paid by freelance publishers by ACH, ACH payments, but like no publisher I've ever written for or anyone who's ever paid me for anything I've done, art or written, has ever been like, let me email you the front and back of a picture of a check and the bank is actually going to accept this.
I mean, like,
Chronically, Manette, you're right.
Shocked, but it feels like if that was going to be a possibility, it would be a full-on digital check and not pictures.
Yep.
Technology.
Manette, you want to see what Manette's here on YouTube. Let me show you.
Hi, Manette.
Let me show you what I made for Megan. It says FALS in honor of her husband, because she needed to scream into the void today. So we made a pretty doodle for her. And then, because apparently I really like this word, I was going through my stuff and I found this. So I'm thank you for the likes. I'm only charging $10 for these. Because they're fun to make.
I work for a bank. I know exactly what can be taken and what can't be taken, and the front and back of a check cannot be taken via email.
Right.
Via PDF cannot be taken as legal currency.
Right.
Sorry.
Like, yeah, sorry. I'm like, I said, I need to research whether or not this is actually something I can accept, sir. And he was like, oh, but it can be. And I was like, yeah, no.
Just no.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you for thinking I'm pretty, but do I look that stupid to you?
I had a guy on Instagram.
Manette's laughing her ass off right now on YouTube.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, like,
he tried to get me to buy Bitcoin in order to send the money that he was promising me, and I'm like, I don't do Bitcoin, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here in the Cash App. All I've got to do is send it, but first you need to buy this amount of Bitcoin and send that to me. I'm like, no.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
And my husband's right there beside me going, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, no.
I was like, yeah, right. I'm like, you know what? If you want to give me money and be a supporter. Oh, and then another guy was like, can we be friends? And I was like, sure, here's my Patreon. Like, I'm sorry, but if you want my writing or my art, or anything that involves me like talking to you, for any reason, it's gonna cost you money. Because I don't work for free. And if you're talking about what I think we're talking about, you're on the wrong app for that.
Try Snapchat, dude.
Snapchat or OnlyFans.
Wait for
This is
that.
not an OnlyFans account, my dude. This is not an OnlyFans account. And I know some artists have actually like legit artists have made OnlyFans work for them, but like that's a very small number, and they're in the minority.
I was about to say that's got to be a niche market.
Yeah, it is. They're probably the ones painting acrylics with like their boobs.
Right.
Which, I mean, I got plenty.
I mean, I could technically paint with my boobs, but why? Sorry to those people who are still in here watching.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that just because I don't need to be furthering my allergy. So sorry, it's a health issue.
Yeah. I don't know what's in the acrylics other than what's printed on the paint bottle, and usually that doesn't say much.
Yeah, so we're just gonna stick to what I can do on art paper and sugar skulls. And if you want to be my friend, sure. If you want to support me as a creator, go for it. And if you want somebody to show you their business, their feet, or what's inside their bra, I would suggest OnlyFans. My sister told me to make one and show my feet. Like, no, please, I'd rather be poor. I could show my feet. Honestly, you know what? I would if I was not allergic to freaking pedicures, and nail polish because of the stupid allergies. I wouldn't give a damn. Like I'd create a whole new like persona. Like nobody would even have to know it's me. I got friends who write smut for like a living and are making bank. And they've got pen names. Their kids don't know what what they do. Like they got a whole thing going on. But I mean, it's not they're not showing anything on OnlyFans. They're just writing the stuff that people want to see from OnlyFans, which is hysterical. And but like I can't do that because I can't use nail polish. So I can't get pedicures anymore, or gel nails. And I don't think I'm pretty sure the only successful feet picture OnlyFans people are the ones who have the pretty acrylic toes.
Right. And good luck trying to get acrylics on my toenails.
Right? Like
they're about the size of a pinhead.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you know what? I just that's not going to be a good career move for me.
I'd have no problem showing off my feet, but yeah, you can't get paint on my toenails.
Yeah, so right, like if you want me, I'll draw you a foot. It ain't gonna be mine, but
and it might not be pretty.
And it's definitely not going to be what you're expecting. It's going to be a pretty doodle. Yeah. You know what? The next time somebody says honestly, this is hysterical. I'm going to be like, listen, this is what when you say that you want to support me, this is what you're looking for, right? So right. I'll just charge you $10 for the doodle and we'll call it good. Okay.
Right. That sounds good.
Look, it's even pretty.
It's even pretty. And glittery.
Yeah, like how can you go wrong with this? And this isn't going to get you in trouble with anybody. You're not going to look like an asshole, And
it's not even a slur against you.
Right.
There's nothing saying you.
I don't like my feet anymore because I have so many scars and weird spots. Plus, my husband won't like me sharing. I understand. My husband would probably laugh his ass off if I actually had the capability to get pedicures, and somebody was dumb enough to give me cash for pictures of my feet. He'd probably be like, All right, let's see where this goes. But we've been married for 21 years, and we have that kind of sense of humor. And
lose his what's left of his ass laughing.
yeah, mine would laugh his ass off. But if you're gonna, that's all I'm saying is, if you're like, no, but I want to be your sugar daddy, well, guess what? You can be my sugar daddy, but let's call it, but I got a Patreon account, and let's go on over there.
On that note, Colleen, I need to go to bed.
Okay, that's fine. Wait, Manette said, my husband said, no, I just asked him. My feet belong to him. The fact that you just asked him, Manette, is my absolute favorite thing in the world. Oh my goodness. Mijo, what do you think? Can I show my patas online for money? No. Hell no, woman. Those belong to me.
I'm laughing my ass.
Right? I'm dying. I just asked him. He said no. I ain't gonna give you what you want, but I can draw it for you.
There you go.
It's like, I'm pretty sure this might not be what you're looking for exactly. Sorry.
I love it.
Oh, good times. All right, you go to bed, Megan. I am going to talk to Manette for a minute here, and then I'm going to walk the dogs and consider just staying up all night so that I can try and reset my clock and make sure that I don't miss any appointments tomorrow. Because I have to make sure a little bit is awake for her appointment. Because we both have our appointment at 2:30 in the afternoon, and she's been sleeping until 2 lately. And well, let's just put it this way. I need to be dressed and have the dogs walked before the appointment, which means I can't be getting out of bed at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. You gotta be doing something before then.
Right. So I might just stay awake and use this. My doctor actually said, just pick a night and stay awake all night and see if it helps to reset your schedule. And she's like, you might have to do it twice. But she's like, see if you can do that. And honestly, I have enough things to do to keep me busy that like legitimately need to be done, not just effing around. I can't with him. Manette says sometimes we have good times. You know what, Manette? The best relationships are the ones where we can joke and know that like we can get into like we can like joke where like couples that haven't been married for a long time or like don't have that kind of connection will literally be like, oh, I can't believe they just said that to each other. And like, look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. My husband used to be the DD when we first started dating, and his friends wanted to go to the gentlemen's clubs. My husband used to be the DD. They look really, Rosanna, how are you? Look, I'm drawing pretty fucks. I know Rosanna, so it's good. My friend Megan, who joined me, her husband has ALS, so she asked me to scream into the void with her in the form of a doodle, so that this will be sent to her, so that she can have this. And let me show you the Dia de los Muertos calavera that I made for her. Really, Rosanna is also an artist and uh, advocate for the Latina community. So she's really fabulous. I love her. But yeah, look, I'm drawing pretty fucks and making pretty dead things. I'll just wait for the FBI to. I'm just gonna wait for. Right. I'm just gonna wait for the FBI to knock on my door now. Manette, really on Instagram, really Rosanna. Her name is it's Rosanna. Really Rosanna. She's one of my long time social media connections, and I'm talking long time. We've known each other since our babies were actual babies. So she's a good one to follow. She's on Instagram. She's on TikTok too. Rosanna, I don't know if you're still here, but I don't know what your TikTok handle is. I know I follow you, but I don't know your freaking TikTok handle because I have the memory of a sieve. I put the ice cream away in the refrigerator today.
At least you remembered.
After it was soup. I opened it up. I opened up the fridge to get something else out and was like, well, damn. Okay. Time to put in, at least we don't need this frozen again till tomorrow, so that's good.
Okay, I'm really going to bed this time.
Okay. Have a good night. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Manette, how are you doing, girl? I am still drawing, just for the hell of it, pretty facts. You still here? Yeah, you're still here. I didn't get a chance to go on TikTok and post and let people know I was going to be live streaming before I did, because I was taking my bike for a test drive, because I'm riding my bike to T-Mobile tomorrow because Eliana needs a new phone. And I haven't been on a bike in 10 years, and I literally needed to see if I still knew how to ride a bike. So that's why I did that. And by the time, and then Megan was like, let's go on live together on Instagram. And well, I did. And then I was like, hey, look, I'll open up YouTube and go on there and show some of my art, and we'll just chat. And then she asked me to doodle an FALS for her because she's having a hard time right now. Her husband, she shared this. I can share this because she said this publicly multiple times, but her husband is 42 and was just diagnosed with ALS, and it's progressing rapidly. And she's going to be a widow before she turns 50. And she needed something pretty to help her scream into the void tonight. So that's why I painted this for her. It's been a long day today. Went to see your sister. How is your sister doing? I need to do a total for how many sales I had so far. I have two people who still owe me money, who still have to pay for what they commissioned. And then after that, I can do the total to figure out how much I was able to raise for you. I will let Megan know. She was having a hard night. And I mean, I can totally understand that. Normally ALS isn't diagnosed when it develops. It usually doesn't develop until later in life, a little bit later. He literally just turned 42. So she's having a super hard time right now, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna make something pretty for you. And I thought of something else, Manette. If we can pick one of these, like a skull that I've drawn, I can see if I can take a good enough picture to like erase the background on Procreate and everything, and turn it into like a T-shirt graphic, and then maybe we could do a fundraiser with like a Teespring. She was doing well today. They moved her from ICU to a regular room therapy soon, hopefully. That's amazing. If there's a saying you want doodled, um, a favorite chingona or something, like I can write something for you that I could turn into a T-shirt for Teespring, and that could be like, yeah, we because I think Teespring would be easier because there's a couple other content creators uh, who I've been talking with who might want kind of the same thing, with assistance. Like I can't donate, but I can art, right? And a portion of my proceeds can like go towards that, right? Portion of the profits or whatever. Um, so and Teespring, I know the shirts only get made if like the minimum is met, right? So if you can get your community behind you, and I know that a few of the creators I'm talking to have really supportive bases, and you're chingona sweet. Uh, I will chingona. I will create one for you on my iPad in Procreate. Maybe I'll do it during tomorrow's live. No. I'm not going live tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm not going live unless I finish everything I need to finish that has to be finished. I'm going to adult tomorrow, right? So I might go live tomorrow. If I do, I will announce that on TikTok before I do. If not, I will definitely go live the following day because tomorrow is adulting day. And having to finish the things that I've been putting off because ADHD. Tomorrow, cross your fingers for me. I'm talking to my doctor to see if I can be put back on my ADHD meds. My blood pressure is almost back to normal, thankfully, which means that she might not have a problem putting me on the only medication that actually used to work for me. And because it's a stimulant. And if that is the case, there's going to be, I predict, a night and day difference in my ability to actually think, flat out, and produce and follow through with just things, because I've been grasping at straws for the longest time now and trying and failing at a lot of things and only getting things half done. So I'm really hoping that she will do that. Her in-laws are really good at fundraising. I wanted to sell food, but it's too much for me. I'm feeling the effects of this. I understand it's a lot to deal with, Roseanne. Manette, sorry. I was talking. Look. I like that one. Yeah, you have a lot going on, and it's really hard when you also have a chronic illness that you need to manage yourself that can be triggered by stress. And having your sister, any relative, but especially one that you're super close to, being in such a situation, you have to be very careful because you're not only trying to support them, you're trying to make sure that you can still be there for yourself and your family. So thank you. You think I could sell this for $10? And I could do these too. Like, I could take orders for as many of these. Like, if you I could take orders for those too. Yeah, you have a great community and a lot of people who are supporting you. And so yeah, if I can create a design for a shirt for you that we can put on Teespring, and um, then every design is an individual fundraiser for whichever chronic illness creator it is that we're assisting, that I'm working with, then it's less to not worry about, but keep track of, if that makes sense. Um, Especially since not everyone is. Let's put it this way: Day of the Dead might be something you and I are both like year round, like yay, let's go. But the rest of the world, who isn't, might not Latina, not Latina, not Latino, whatever. This might not necessarily be their cup of tea unless it's spooky season. Then again, I've got my Christmas tree ornaments. So there is the possibility for keep, but again, it would be easier to keep things separate on Teespring, for individual campaigns when it comes to just a specific T-shirt. And chingona is a great word to represent, your sister's fight. Go right ahead, and do that, Manette. I'm not sure how much longer you wanted to keep on going. If you wanted to try for through Halloween, or let me know what you think, and we can figure that out. Because I still have to figure out. I still have to math and figure out like where we are right now. Because a few people, like I said, still have to close out their tabs, so to speak. But once that happens, then we'll be good to go. And I can start, and I know what I've got to send you, based on what's already been raised. Yeah, that I understand. That makes total sense. When you've been through that kind of business, that's a lot, and the less remembered is probably the better. I would, I understand that completely. I read a book once in middle school. It's one of those like Caldecott winning, like art, young nonfiction books, or not fiction, but a fiction novel. No, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's an award-winning book for teenagers. And in it, there's a scene where one of the main characters is attacked by a bear, and he survives. But after he comes to, the girl he's with was like trying to tell him how horrible it was. And he's basically like, I'm totally paraphrasing here because it's been so long since I read it. And he's like, it was bad for you. He's like, I'm the one that freaking got attacked and almost died. She's like, you didn't have to see it happening. And she's like, and you don't remember all of it. She's like, I had to watch it from start to finish and hope that you were going to be okay and come out of this okay. So I completely understand what you're saying, because your sister's going to come out of this because she's a warrior and she's a shingona and she's strong. But you and your family are going through a lot watching her fight this. And that's a big mental and emotional toll. So yeah, you've got a lot on your plates. And I respect that. Do you think this one's done, I think. Let me see 1 second. So the goal is we gotta start getting more people, more of our peeps over here on my lives over here. So it's true I break down because I couldn't imagine losing her. She's my BFS forever. We're so close. I understand that completely. And I know it's hard not to imagine the worst when things were as bad as they were. But you've got prayers, you've got community. Your sister's a fighter, and if she's she's a chingona, which means she's gonna she's a chingona. She's gonna beat this, and she's gonna come out of this, and she'll have her family supporting her because you guys have been there for her all along, and that means that can make all the difference in the world. And you're welcome to share this link on Facebook. It's like 3 hours long. I've got I was making some stuff for Megan earlier that I showed you, and I showed some of the skulls that I have left. By the way, I only have 2 left. Second. As far as I know, these are the only 2 skulls that I have left that stand up, right? These are the only 2 left that are 55 shipped. Okay. They're the only 2 I have left in this design. And I can't get any more in time to ship to make before Halloween. I did go live on Facebook for 3 hours, and I didn't have anybody and I didn't have anybody pop in, but I didn't promote it either. It was just hey, last minute, let's do this. Since I was already on Instagram, so maybe another night. Maybe I can get somebody. Maybe I can get more people on. Because the majority of my base is still on TikTok, and it's once people get used to seeing you on one platform. 1 minute, my voice is doing things. When people get used to seeing you on one platform, it's hard to. It takes a little while to not translate, but retrain, I guess, in a way, for where they can find you. So I'm trying to do I'm trying to very, very slowly like lead people over here with like teasers where like I'll answer part of a question on TikTok and be like full video coming on YouTube kind of thing, and start to build regular interaction that way, and also going live, even though I know I don't have a lot of followers over here right now yet, subscribers. So going live anyway, just to have the content up and get my channel into the algorithm. So when you like and you comment and you interact, like that is, making a huge difference, and I want you to know that, and I appreciate it, because I am small potatoes over here, and but like I said to Life with Abby, she was here earlier. Like we all got to start somewhere, and this is my somewhere. Because I honestly don't know if I'm gonna go live on TikTok again after the ban is lifted because I'm a little salty that it happened to begin with. Because it shouldn't have happened. So because it should not have happened. But it did, so that's where we're at. Yeah, it is, and it's weird because you don't know what you can say. You don't know why you got. We don't know why I got banned temporarily from doing lives. We have no idea. They denied the appeal instantly. And it almost like it's the weirdest thing because nobody knows who said what. And they won't explain because I don't have enough followers over there for them to care. So I decided that unless there's like a major reason for an exception to be made, that I probably will not be doing lives over there anymore. I'm just going to use TikTok for short form videos and teasers over here. Yeah, exactly. It's 100% yeah, many people who are making a lot of money doing horrible things or nothing at all. And you know, we're a lot of us who are busting our butts trying to make a difference and spread awareness. We're screaming into the void and getting crickets. We're connecting with each other, which we can't, that's invaluable. But, then you've got all the people doing all those weird AI simulator things and making money all night, for making who knows how much all night, just for repeating phrases and doing weird things. And every day I've got people telling me I'm saving lives, and and I appreciate, because that's what I'm trying to get information out there, but like I'm still struggling to pay my bills, and I can't build a support. I'm working on building a supporter base. So if I can get enough people following me on YouTube, I can monetize the channel. I already have almost 6,000 followers on YouTube, on TikTok. I only need another 800 or so to follow over here. No, I didn't, but if you tag me on it, I will take a look. I have not. I posted a few videos today, but I didn't have time to actually scroll TikTok much today at all. So, which is probably a good thing. I'm almost probably confused. This one's done, I think. So, yeah, I like that one. All right. So, I am going to log off for now. I might come back later if I decide to stay awake. Because I need to. There's a lot I need to do. And I could just, what's it called? Body double while doing it. You love it? Thank you. I love it too. I'll have to list it and put it on the Etsy shop. I will work on a chingona for you and your sister on the iPad and Procreate on a blank background, so that we can work on turning it into a t-shirt design. And I will definitely let you know if I come back on, if I decide to not go to sleep. Because I have a lot to do tomorrow, and I'm afraid if I go to sleep at this point, I'm going to be waking up at the same time I normally do, which is not what I need to happen. I need to reset my schedule. And that might require staying up tonight, which means I might be sitting a little bit up to bed. I could lay in bed next to her and work on a few things, but I just can't snuggle up to her or I will pass out. So I could also stay online, just posting videos on TikTok and responding to people, because I have a lot of videos to post. I have 300 drafts still. That's the crazy part. The good thing about these lives, even though I don't have that many followers, is you need X number of followers and X number of views of time watched, hours watched, before people before you can get monetized. So that's one of the reasons that on that I'm on YouTube doing these now, even though I'm still quite far from reaching the minimum of followers for monetization. Because if I can have the minimum number of views before I hit the minimum number of subscribers, then you know what I mean. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, and the other is to start just getting people used to finding me here for lives and coming back to check out my videos. I'm gonna work on posting a few videos tomorrow over here, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I understand. I've had a few videos go semi-viral over here. But I also want to start interviewing like experts and stuff. And I know that some of the people that I want to start interviewing aren't going to be creating TikTok accounts so I can interview them in there, like scientific and doctors and stuff like that. So that's the main reason, because YouTube is a little bit more respected in the academic and scientific and expert field. That's the reason I'm gonna start trying to focus on building the YouTube channel, and I'm gonna build a B channel to start posting my art time lapses, and if I can I want to buy a $20 phone holder so that you can watch. Hi, family review guide. So that you can watch me as I paint my art, paint whatever I'm creating. I created this for a friend tonight whose husband is suffering with ALS right now, and she asked me to create this for her, and then I just finished this doodle too. I like doodling bad words, but I also doodle other words too. So just know that. And these two sugar skulls are still available for sale. You have an interview from another YouTuber. It's pretty awesome. Awesome. That's great. I am glad. I can tell you one thing. If I stay up all night, I actually will be tired tomorrow. And I'm probably going to take tomorrow off from streaming. I will just use tomorrow to catch up on videos and trying to get some videos finished, edited, because I have 300 drafts to go through. And then I can start focusing on longer content for YouTube. So that's the goal. Thank you. Of course, please share with me. Okay, Rosanna, family review guide, really Rosanna, and Manette. Love you guys. Thank you for stopping by. I am out for the night.